into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning. I feel like we should be a bit more distinguished in our delivery this morning. I feel this because I'm stood next to a beautiful lady. You look gorgeous this morning.
Thank you so much. I feel gorgeous today. You look handsome.
No,
I've been hyping the boys up. I'm like, damn, boys, you're looking good this morning.
Nice to get dressed up. And in fact, we've got a reason. So first of all, very good morning. Welcome to our little soiree today. My name is Graham Richards.
My name is Jamie Domberg, and this morning we are going to be spilling the tea. But the real tea,
not spilling it.
No, not spilling it. We're going to be sipping tea as well, because we are going to be finding and exploring everything there is to know about rooibos. Why? Because rooibos is a plant that can only be produced in parts of the Western Cape as well as the Northern Cape provinces.
Only ours.
Yeah,
it's ours. And now the EU says it's ours. And obviously recently the European Commission has now included this product designation of rooibos, or they call it the red bush, into the EU's geographical indication register, which means we're up there with champagne and Bordeaux, and no one can be stealing our tea and naming it something else, which is great. But of course it has medicinal properties. There are so many wonderful benefits for drinking rooibos tea, and it is proudly South African and all ours. So we're going to continue that love affair this morning. Someone who's ready to spill the tea about the tea this morning and pose a very difficult question. Looks unbelievably dapper.
He does.
Look at that guy. Good morning, Gryle.
Good morning, you beautiful souls. Yes, indeed. Feeling dapper as always. Thank you, team, for bringing us into another beautiful day. And of course, we've got to settle this once and for all. You heard what the intro is all about. You heard the fact that we're talking about rooibos tea. So let's settle this once and for all. The question to you, Mzansi, this morning is, how do you take your rooibos tea? Now, some do it with milk, some do it without. Now, the question is, you've got so many other ways to do it as well. We want to know from you how you love your rooibos tea. For me, I'm kind of just like a raw, real, natural kind of guy. You know, bareback, just some honey, just some lemon, and that's how we do. But let us know how you're going to do it on social medias. Speaking of, how convenient is this? Manhattan iced tea in a bottle. It's perfect served, and it's the perfect reason to get this day started. That's good. See you later.
Mr. Nature Boy, indeed, loving his tea. But it's time now to have a first look at those news headlines, starting with your local news. Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma yesterday proclaimed that the 1st of November as the new date for the local government elections. Now, this follows last week's dismissal of the Independent Electoral Commission's application to the Constitutional Court to postpone the polls to February 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The minister said the new date would be officially gazetted after the voter registration weekend scheduled for the 18th to the 19th of September. Dlamini-Zuma added that political parties would be able to campaign provided they adhere to COVID-19 regulations and protocols. And then a South African prisoner was one of 41 inmates that died in a fire which broke out at Tangerang prison in Indonesia yesterday. The blaze started in the early hours of the morning and rapidly spread through the grossly overcrowded jail. The prison warders began unlocking some of the cells but could not open all of them in time. Now, most of the 41 deceased inmates were imprisoned for drug offences. Some 80 prisoners that survived the fire were injured. On the international front, Guinea's military leaders have freed scores of political prisoners before a meeting of West African leaders to discuss the response to Sunday's coup that ousted President Alpha Condé. At least 80 prisoners were released. Some had campaigned against Condé's attempt to stay in power for a third term after altering the constitution to permit it. Coup leader Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, a former French foreign legionnaire, has pledged to install a unified transitional government, but has not yet said when or how that will happen. And then staying on your international front, a powerful earthquake has hit the Pacific coast of Mexico, close to the international resort of Acapulco. The magnitude 7 quake was also felt strongly some 370 kilometers away in Mexico City, sending residents and tourists spilling into the streets from homes and hotels. Power cuts were reported in several states. One man was killed by a falling post, but President Andrés Obrador said there were no reports of major damage. Utility poles fell on vehicles in Acapulco and part of a church collapsed as well. And then it's time to meet the oldest living land animal. Jonathan, a Seychelles giant tortoise, has just celebrated his 189th birthday. According to the Guinness Book of Records, he is regarded as the oldest known living land animal. Jonathan is a resident on the island of St. Helena, a British territory in the South Atlantic Ocean to the west of South Africa. He has lived through 2 world wars, the Great Depression, the deadly Spanish flu, and of late, of course, COVID-19, and yet he continues to thrive on the island. He was brought to St. Helena back in 1882 when he was 50 years old, and Jonathan lives on the grounds of Plantation House, official residence of the governor of St. Helena, and is taken care of by authorities there. Records say he was fully mature when he was brought to St. Helena in 1882. Fully mature means at least 50 years old, and this reaffirms that Jonathan was definitely not born later than 1832. On that note, that is where I wrap up your 6 o'clock news headlines. I will be back on the top of the hour. Here's Graham with a first look at the sports.
Good on you, Jonathan. Perfect prelude to welcome back a legend in his own right into the rugby fold. Let's start there with the Springbok squad. Our 8th man, Dwayne Vermeulen, will make his first appearance for the national team since the Rugby World Cup final after being named in the starting 15 for the Rugby Championship match against Australia this coming Sunday. The experienced forward has fully recovered from an ankle injury and is now one of 5 changes amongst the forwards. Whilst the Boks will be boosted by that news, Cheslin Colby sadly will miss the clash through a leg injury, and he'll be ably replaced though by Sbu Nkosi on the wing. Kickoff for Sunday's clash is at 12:05. Then on to cricketing news. The Proteas will travel to England between the 19th of July and the 12th of September next year in a tour that will consist of 3 ODIs, 3 T20s and 3 Test matches. Riverside to Old Trafford, Headingley will be the venues playing host to the ODI series. Then Bristol, Sophia Gardens and the Ageas Bowl will host the T20 series, and then the Test series will be played at the famous Lords, Edgbaston and the Oval. Director of Cricket Graham Smith said he is very pleased with the confirmation of more fixtures for the men's team that is in much need of game time. South Africa are getting that game time in Sri Lanka at the moment, where they'll now turn their attention to the first of 3 T20s tomorrow, having lost the ODI series 2-1. Then some news in the world of football. In the Premier League, FIFA have warned clubs in the English top flight that they could face sanctions from the world governing body if they play South American players who were not released for international duty in this weekend's games. Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea and Man City are among clubs who did not release Brazilian players for the current international break, and as a result face a choice of not selecting those players this weekend or running the risk of sanctions. The Brazilian Football Federation have triggered the automatic restriction period of 5 days, which stops clubs picking players who have not been released. Then on to the US Open. South African tennis star Lloyd Harris has had his brilliant run at this year's US Open sadly ended by 4th seed and Olympic champion Alexander Zverev in the quarterfinals. Harris was in uncharted territory as he made his first last 8 appearance at a Grand Slam. The 24-year-old, though, gave a good account of himself in the first set with a tie-breaker needed to settle it. That was ultimately won 7-6 by Zverev, who continued the momentum into the second, where he broke twice to ease to a 6-3 win. The third, much the same, as the German took a 6-4 lead to book a spot in the semi-final, where he'll now either face Novak Djokovic or Matteo Berrettini. And that's where we leave our sporting headlines for now. Let's get our first global perspective on the weather and get some of those temperatures for today.
Thank you so much, Gina. Now, to start off our weather this morning, we are looking into nature where animals are increasingly shape-shifting because of the climate crisis. Now, research has shown the following, where scientists have found that warm-blooded animals are changing their physiology to adapt to hotter climates. Now, this includes getting larger beaks, legs, and ears to better regulate their body temperature. Now, when animals overheat, birds use their beaks and mammals use their ears to disperse the warmth. Now, some creatures in warmer climates have historically evolved to have larger beaks or ears to get rid of heat more easily. Now, these differences are becoming more pronounced as the climate warms. If animals fail to control their body temperature, they can overheat and die. Now, beaks, which are not covered by feathers and thus not insulated, are a site of significant heat exchange, as are ears, tails, and legs in mammals. Now, if not covered by fur, these findings obviously are published in the journal Trends in Ecology and Evolution. Now, animals and nature are constantly evolving, as are the beautiful sunrise photos sent in by our viewers. And this morning, of course, we're starting off with Chandra Paxton from Amanus, who shared this breathtaking photo overlooking the ocean with a mixture of warm hues. The contrast between the pinks, yellows, and oranges are just absolutely stunning. Now, Fatah Khan also comes through from Richards Bay and captured this somewhat overcast photo as the sun peeks through the clouds while enjoying the view of the low tide and a yacht perched on the banks in the distance. Looks like the stuff of absolute magic, and we can't thank you enough for sending those pictures. Keep coming through with all the magic, because you love how much it puts a smile on my dial and the rest of Mzansi. But now to take a look at the rest of the temperatures for the day, we're starting off in Polokwane, where your low will be 9 and you'll have a high of 22 degrees. Mbombela, you'll start your day on 13 degrees, moving up to 24 with 25% chance of rain coming through. Pretoria, partially sunny day there with 1% chance of clouds and rain, and 10 is your low and a high of 24, with Johannesburg starting your day on 9 degrees, moving up to 22 degrees Celsius. Mahikeng, very similar day with a 12-degree start, moving up to a high of 26 degrees. Klerksdorp, you start your day on 10 degrees, moving up to 27 degrees Celsius. And Kimberley, very similar, with a low of 13 and a high of 27 degrees. Bloemfontein, you start your day on 8 and move all the way up to 25 degrees with sunny skies all the way around. And then Richards Bay, you're starting on a low of 13 and a high of 22 degrees for the day. Pietermaritzburg, your day starts on 8, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius. Durban, starting off at 15 and moving up to 22 with predominantly sunny skies all the day around. And then Mthatha, you'll start your day on 7 degrees, moving up to 21 degrees Celsius. East London, a low of 14 and a high of 20 degrees with 25% chance of a cloudy day coming through there in the sky. And then Cradock, you'll start your day on 8 and a high of 27 degrees with sun expected all day around. Berga, very similar, a sunny day, starting off at 13 degrees, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius for your high. George, you'll start your day on 15, moving up to 22 degrees. And then the windy city of Cape Town, starting off at 14 and moving up to 25 degrees Celsius. Worcester, a very similar temperature, starting off at 14 too, and then moving up to 29 for the day. Sutherland, not as chilly, but still a cold one. You're starting off at 10 degrees for the morning, and then moving up to 23 degrees with sunny skies expected. And then Uppington, last but not least, a sunny day, 19-degree low and a high of 32 degrees to end your day. Now, that's a look at the weather for the morning. We've got so much magic coming up in the show. And speaking of which, let's find out what else we can expect to see.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. I'm laughing already because the things we do behind the scenes. But listen, Candice Galetta is here. She's going to be bringing you 3 powerful performances today. She's got a yellow on. She's an array of sunshine, and she's here to perform just for you.
And then we are going to make yskas taart.
Ja.
Hoekom moet jy dit 'n fridge tart noem? Omdat de yskas klinkt
Dit
soveel
klinkt beter in
beter.
Afrikaans, ja.
Dis reg.
Dit maak dit.
Senior,
No.
Only you can make my day.
Welcome back, everybody. You're still live here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is time to meet our performance for this morning. Now, born in Gugulethu in the mother city, our performer for the morning, singer Candice Galetta, developed her love for singing from a very young age and has gone on to grace many stages across Cape Town. And we are going to be blessed with those talents shortly. But before we hear her sing, we're going to get to know her a little better. So please, can we give Candice a warm, feel-good welcome,
Yes,
everybody?
Good morning. How are you doing?
I am so happy to be here.
I can see you're glowing, and it's so early in the morning. Thank you for joining us. It's always appreciated and for sharing some time with us and Mzansi. But I gotta know, because I'm dying to know this question. How does one know, like, that you are a singer? Because I'm trying to figure it out for myself for years and years, and I haven't found the answer.
I tell you for free, you're not a singer, my friend.
But I mean, you've been working through events like the church, through school and competitions, and honing that craft. When you decide, like, this is a career move, this is something, like, I can do, when does that feeling come through?
You know, for me, fortunately for me, I got to know that at a young age, and I went with it. I knew that this is my purpose, you know, and I'm still chasing the dream.
Still chasing the dream, and we love that. I mean, you've been able to work with so many amazing Cape Town artists, putting your name out there. What is it like to, you know, again, walk in your purpose, stand there amongst many Cape Town artists and use your talents to touch so many people out there?
It's just so amazing. I mean, with my family as well, I serve as an inspiration to my son, you know, and it came with a success story this year that he was accepted at the Drakensberg Boys Choir School.
Oh, wow.
As he also aspires to be a singer. So that for me is just
Look
a highlight.
I can see you getting emotional about this. Why is it so important? Because you come from a family of artists and singers. Yes. Why is it so important, and why does it have such an impact on you when you're hearing that your child's potentially continuing that legacy of entertaining, of sharing his voice of passion and just being an artist? What does that mean to you?
It's important for me, you know, just being able to support your child from a young age. It plays a fundamental role as well. You know, supporting their dream. You know, it plays that role, and it's just so amazing that I get to do this. It's not a lot of parents that get to do that. You know, so for me, I just feel so blessed.
So you're a mom to 3 beautiful children, yes. And I'm sure they're all watching now, so proud. What words do you have for them watching now, especially your son that obviously also got signed now at the Drakensberg Choir, just watching them, you fulfilling your dreams, sitting here on the couch on a national platform. What words do you have for them?
Ah, greatness is about to happen. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy. I'm just grateful for the opportunity just to be I don't think you guys know what it means.
Don't worry, I can just see if you were in the studio now, you would feel just the passion, the excitement coming through from you. And it's making me smile as well. I mean, it's just it's an honor to see where you've come. Maybe you can have a little bit of fun from the day. I don't know if you heard what we were talking about, rooibos tea as well. And it's something we play around with all our guests. And I've maybe thought to you, how do you like your tea? Is it with milk, without milk?
Without milk.
Mm-hmm. Sugar, no sugar?
Sugar.
Do you leave the tea bag in? Do you take it out?
No, I take it out. Floaty, you take the tea bag out.
Okay, we'll have that for you. Candice, you are an inspiration to so many women out there, to so many people out there following your dreams, you know, being a mom. What are you hoping to achieve with this musical journey of yours?
I see myself on different stages. I have this, let me say, short-term goal. Hoping to achieve this is to perform with my son and the Drakensberg Boys Choir. And yeah, just living out my purpose.
Definitely living out your purpose. And speaking of stages, we've got a stage today that we're going to be performing on, and you've got some epic performances coming up for us and the rest of Mzansi. So we cannot wait, and we're looking so forward to that. So without further ado, I'll let you get on to practicing, because the stage is all yours later on. Mzansi, you don't want to miss this one, of course. Candice Galetta, she's going to be entertaining us with a soulful voice that you do not want to miss. Stick around.
So while Candice is about to serve up the flames and she warms up her vocals, we are cooling things down in the kitchen. Met 'n yskas stert.
Fruits of the Forest from Clover just added real cereal crunch. A symphony of fruit, oats, seeds, and granola crunch. Fruits of the Forest. Real fruit, real cereal, real taste.
Made with love by Clover.
So it is indeed Heritage Month, and there is nothing more delicious than a traditional South African dessert. Fridge tarts are hugely popular in Mzansi to cure a sweet tooth craving. This one's going to hit the spot. Here is our Fruits of the Forest pineapple ijskastert. Say it, Michaela.
Ijskastert.
Your Afrikaans is a lot better than mine.
My Afrikaans is baie goed.
Dit is baie goed. But how good is your ijskastert? That is the question.
Dis ook baie goed.
I love pineapple. I love, obviously, the Fruits of the Forest dairy snack is a hit, and we've used it in some ingenious recipes. I'm loving how far we can push the boat out with this guy. So where do we begin? I see I've got my own little workstation, which I'm quite excited about. But what's going on?
So, you get to start off by mixing that melted butter into those delicious biscuits.
And we didn't skimp on the biscuits, eh? There's quite a lot there.
It always looks like a lot, but the idea is for the butter just to like coat it, because you don't want it drenched.
Okay.
As soon as you like put it into the fridge, that butter will seep out, and then you'll have like a weird layer at the bottom of butter.
But look, there's enough to get in there.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay.
So, and on my end, we have some pineapple-flavored jelly that we've already mixed with our boiling water, and we've allowed it to cool a little bit because we don't want boiling water with our fruits of the forest.
With our dairy, of course. Yeah. So that's blooming. That's blooming.
It's already bloomed.
It's bloomed. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yes, you said you were going to say ijskastert a few times, so like say it in a row and see what happens. At least six times.
Meng ons hierdie in die ijskastert. Hey, meng is the right word, ja.
Ons vat ons yoghurt en ons gooi hom in 'n kleine bakkie.
You see, it's not as easy.
Dan vat ons jelly en ons gooi daar
met
in
die dairy snack.
Ja. Meng hom met 'n whisk. It's going to look a bit sketch, okay?
Oh, I'm loving it. I absolutely love the pineapple flavor profile. My mom used to make this pineapple pudding.
Yes.
Which is one of my favorite crave things. So when I got back from like boarding school or whatever, it was always I'd have a mac and cheese and I'd have pineapple pudding. Those are like the two things that I craved the most.
Okay.
You get at boarding school. I know.
I can go with
strange.
I can go with
but
that.
I love it. So this is nostalgic for me as well. I love the fact that we are again using the Fruits of Forest dairy snack in such an ingenious way. It's got a creamier taste with the bigger fruit pieces, and it's filled with nutritional goodness, so it's going to lend itself beautifully to this recipe. You can add any of your favorite fruits of the forest to this recipe. There's a beautiful range as well. You could also add some more textures, maybe some toasted almonds, some coconut flakes to the biscuit base, because I think we've gone with a coconutty biscuit.
Yes.
As it is, which you've got to kind of.
Would you like to take that for me?
Okay.
And pour it
Start lining our.
Yeah. Yes. And then you're going to use your spatula, and you're just going to push it on down.
Do you want all of them in?
No, it seems like a little bit too much for that container.
Okay.
And then I have mixed all the gelatin with whatever was left in this container of dairy snack. And we are now going to throw in some crushed pineapple. Ooh. You can use tinned or fresh.
For sure.
Tinned one will obviously just be a little bit sweeter.
Yeah,
because
it comes in syrup. Yeah, for sure. I get you.
So,
but I mean, let's be honest here, okay? We're getting some nutrients through our dairy snack, yes, but we're not doing this to be healthy. We're doing this because we want flavour.
It's delicious.
Yeah, we want flavour. Yay.
And literally, how easy was that?
That was. I keep waiting for like the sting in the tail for something to.
No, that's all.
But no, an ijskastert is easy and it's simple and it's delicious.
And then we pour it over.
Ooh, I actually think this will lend itself to a nice thick base, to be honest. You want that base to be quite thick so you've got that textural element. Sure, you nailed that, eh? That was so slick. Okay.
I know.
So in the fridge, presumably in the ijskast.
Ons sit dit in die yskas tot
Hoeveel? Hoe lang?
Until it becomes hard.
Stevig.
Wow, yes. Yes.
No, that's not a real word. I don't think that's a real word. I'm going to taste it because it just looks amazing. So let me grab a little Oh, look at that. Oh, magical.
Yes.
Oh, this is what I'm going to get. And I see we've closed it off with, we finished it off with some beautiful rings of pineapple as well, just
And
to add.
toasted coconut.
Oh.
You know what else you could put on the top of this that my mom used to do back in the day? Whip some cream, and once it's set, you just put the whipped cream on top of it. Yes.
Oh, my word. That is so, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do the chipmunk dance there, but that just made me so excited. Oh, if you want to recreate this yourself, and I really suggest you do, you can go to expressoshow.com. That's where we house all of our recipes, our culinary inspiration, and then just make sure you've got an ace cuss, and you can get on with the most delicious. It's fresh. This is spring in a mouthful. Michaela?
Yum.
Yes, brilliant.
Dankie. Ek hoop.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day.
I'm Zola Nene,
En ek is Fritz Skoon.
and we're looking for SA's next big baking influencer.
12 van die land se beste bakkers gaan kompeteer, maar net een kan die titel verdien, van Taste Master.
It's gonna be sweet, it's gonna be indulgent.
Dit gaan uitdagend wees, maar baie smaakvol.
The journey culminates right here on Hosendal Wine Estate, where we will crown our brand new Tastemaster. Catch all the triumphs and flops on the Tastemaster Baking Edition, 10 September at 7 p.m. on SABC2.
The rich taste that says You've arrived. Uyigakara. Living a life of illusion. Leaving your finances on the rocks. In this world of Bazotina Bantu, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Thursday here from your Feel Good Breakfast Show team. It's a new season, and we know a new season sets the tone for new ambitions and goals. And many of us, yes, we are working hard on those summer bodies. It is coming, it's around the corner. But for peak performance, our activewear needs to support every workout, from lifting and running to even hiking. Now, fashion and beauty editor Miss Knox Mafush is here to give us the inside scoop into the world of men's athleisure wear. But first, can we take a moment on this girl? You look good.
Thank you. I thought, we're talking performance, we're talking athleisure. I thought, let me just come to the party and do the same thing.
For some reason, I feel like I need to go work out right now because you are snatched, Mama.
Thank you, thank you. I feel like, also these clothes just kind of encourage that get out there, get lifting, and it's a really exciting time. I mean, spring is around the corner. It's actually here.
It is, yeah.
So it's a good time to get into our bodies.
So today we're all about spilling the tea. You're going to be spilling the tea on the athleisure for men.
Yes.
And what those key elements are. What can we expect for the season?
Well, I think performance is a big part of the edition focus, particularly for men's athleisure. And when I say to you, they've got the most exciting performance gear that I've seen in a very long time. Now, it comes with a range of colors, from like your bright limes to red to really great interesting prints. But I think when we go through all of these, you'll see that there is such a big focus on making sure that these items serve you so well, that you look good, but also that the technology built inside these things makes working out, lifting, doing yoga such an easy thing. And I think the men are really going to have a good time shopping this catalogue.
For sure. And I love that you mentioned colour, because usually when it goes to athleisure, people like to keep it classic with the black and white. But sometimes a print, sometimes a colour just boosts the mood as well.
Absolutely. I think if we were to look even here at just like these bold colours that speak to you immediately, we've got this in the slim fit golfer, which is great because it's got the material that will actually take in that moisture when you're sweating it out. And then, of course, we've got our medium compression tops, which also deal very well with moisture. They've got a quick dry technology, which is awesome. And it comes in a range of colors. And then, of course, we've got our medium compression T-shirts. Now, these are excellent if you're someone who's probably going to be cycling and on the move a lot, and you could pair those, for instance, with your cycling shorts. So what I love is that these things can be worn in isolation, or they can be worn in two pieces. But of course, we've also got our compression leggings. So for someone who really wants to get in there and be agile and on the move, these are such great items that fit with so much ease onto the body. But I mean, they're really exciting. I could go on for ages. I mean, the prints are even exciting. I could even run you through all of those.
If
you look here, these have got this incredible lining inside, right? So
I like how you're saying like it's a secret.
I know, just because the lining, I just can't believe actually that there is so much consideration down to how it is. I know that someone who loves fitness, these things matter so much. So there's lining inside to make sure when it does get moist, you are carefully protected. I mean, we've got our own, nature boy who's like very experienced in wearing this, because it's I think it's such an easy part of his life also, in the way that performance is a big part of his life.
Let's hear what he has to say. We have the nature boy himself coming in, looking like a sexy hockey team.
Yes.
What do you think?
I really love it. I mean, what do you think? I think that's the most important as someone who's so active.
So apart from the fact that it just looks really cool, and I don't think that's without a doubt. I mean, the blue is just making a statement. One thing I love is the fact that I can move in it and that I feel good. So movement, that box is ticked, as you can clearly see. But what's more important for me is the fact that it feels good, and to the extent that you actually almost feel naked when I'm training. And I mean that because it's so light, it's so effective. I want absolute freedom when I'm doing any of the crazy moves that I would normally do when I'm working out, right?
Exactly.
So, box ticked indeed.
100%. Agility is a big part that you brought up, Raul. Like, if you want to be on the move, the sweating that's going to happen, the quick moisture, the quick dry, I mean, it's literally a match made in heaven. And I mean, you've got your performance trainers on, which are also part of this range, which are also have got great great lining inside, good comfort for those jumps. So it's truly
The
exciting.
whole look is...
So here's the thing, I usually prefer you without a top on, but you actually look really good. And I also know that both of you are dressed for the occasion. You have a little challenge for Knox.
I do, because for me, I have to put the proof in the pudding, and functionality is key. So Knox, seeing that you're looking virtual... And by the way, Knox, you're looking good, by the way. I must say, this was made for you.
I've been
I
trying.
thought I'd put out a little challenge for us in Mzansi, just see if they can do it.
Right.
It's an important part of anybody's fitness regime. We're working on the core, and it's called the plank challenge. So simply we can get down on the ground. Also, at the same time, testing out the equipment that we are wearing, or the gear we're wearing.
Okay.
So first...
I'm the cheerleader, by the way. The cheerleader.
Level one on the plank. For everybody at Mzansi at home, you can do the same. So we're starting on our elbows. If you can maintain this, you're already one step there. Now, step 2, rotate to the side. If you can do that comfortably without falling over, you've mastered step number 2. Nice, Knox. Easy stuff. Now, step number 3. Let's get onto our hands.
All right.
Nice and simple. And see if you can go to step number 4, to the side again.
Wowza browser.
Beautiful stuff. Nice, Knox. I think here's making you
And the comfort.
And then last but not least, see if you can lift up your hand and your foot at the same time.
Now, this is the challenge.
Right, without falling over. Nice and slow. See if you can do hand and leg in the air. Yes! Knox, look who in the building! The performance gear clearly checks out, Jamie, as you can see. Mzansi, let me know how you did in that challenge as well. Well done, Knox.
Wow, that was good, guys.
Wonderful.
For some reason, you made me feel like I need to work out right now. But
And the comfort of it also, like, I mean, we're focused on him, but even with this, I feel amazing and ready to take on more.
yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. But of course, for you at home, you can achieve peak performance in the new Active and Athleisure range from Woolworths. As always, we encourage you to shop this collection, which is available in-store, online, or on the app. And I think it's time for you to go work out, sir.
Yeah, why not? Let's get to it.
A promise to the planet, to tread lightly, to act with care, to think of the future, to shop more sustainably. Woolworths, the difference.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's that time, of course. I couldn't wear such a good-looking outfit and not put it to the test once again. And over the course of lockdown, your couch has become more than just a place to curl up and watch a good movie, right? Now, it's been transformed into workstations, bars, and even a classroom. Yeah, I know, Mzansi, we've been hustling. And now that you can do the following, you can add a gym to that list as well. So Yante is the owner of BeFit Africa, which focuses on full-body, high-intensity workouts using combinations of ballet, yoga, and Pilates, as well as high and low-impact cardio to intensify the workout. Now, today, Yante will take us through some of the best exercises that you can do from the comfort of your own living room on the couch, and that's your ideal sort of equipment or gear for any fitness level. So, Mzansi, come join in on the fun right now, because Yante's in the building! How you doing this morning?
Getting you.
I'm good. I'm excited. We're using the couch, of course. Can I use a chair for mine as
Yeah,
well?
you can.
All right, so
That's
perfect. A
perfectly fine.
couch, a chair, anything will do, Mzansi. Grab any equipment that you can, and Yante's going to take us through the rest. How are we doing this?
Okay, so we're going to start off with push-ups.
All right.
So we're going to go into incline push-ups with your hands
okay.
on the
Okay.
couch.
So off the couch, right? Hands on them.
On the couch,
Okay,
yes.
all
So
right.
hands on the couch. You can either do these just straight from a plank position. If you're a beginner, I'd suggest you go down onto your knees and then nice and wide. We're just going to push the elbows out and then push off from the couch. And just make sure while you're doing this that you're keeping your core engaged. You're making sure that you're not dropping your head. Try and keep your head in line with the rest of your spine.
And I'm seeing you have a very nice neutral spine over there, which is forcing all that stimulation on the pecs right now.
Yes.
Feeling it in the front of the body. That's the region we're working right now. Yes?
Definitely.
Okay, I'm
That's
with you. I'm with you. Feeling the burn. Feeling it.
So working into the pecs, front of the shoulders, and as well into your triceps.
Feeling strong. Yeah. How many reps of these would you do in total?
So I would suggest if you're a beginner, do about 8 to 10 reps. And if you're medium or medium to advanced, I'd say do from 10 to 14 reps.
All right.
Okay.
Challenge accepted.
Awesome. So next one is a Bulgarian split lunge.
I love these.
So you're going to place your foot onto the couch.
Yes.
And you want to make sure
chair
that
once again. Let me just make this chair nice and neat.
So you want to make sure that you're diagonally out with your leg.
All right.
And you want to make sure that when you do your lunge, that your knee stays in line with your ankle and it's not rocking forward and over.
Ooh, okay, that's a good point. And also don't want to make it to go too skew far out to the sides as well, right?
No. So you're going to think inner thighs activated, outer thighs activated, glutes activated, so that your knee stays like you're literally going straight down, and it's in a clamp and it's just moving down. And we're coming back
Let's get down. Nice, and already feeling the burn. I think once you told me to activate, that made a massive difference. Because before I would normally maybe only feel it in the glute.
Yes.
But activating the entire quad region, the internal, external lines, that's really getting full stimulation on this leg here. And I'm feeling a burn. It's like the third rep only.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's good. Like mind to muscle, if you activate before you even start, then you're already off to a good start.
Woo. And then rep scheme again with this one, very similar to the first one?
Very similar to the first one.
All right, enjoy the burn, people. That's a good thing. That means your body's alive. That means the fat is crying away. All right, what's next?
All right, okay, so our next one is a tricep dip.
Okay, nice.
Love and hate these ones. So we're gonna start, you can start seated on the couch.
Okay.
Just placing your hands next to your thighs.
Yeah.
And then just make sure that your elbows are pulling towards one another.
Okay.
So you wanna think shoulders down, shoulder blades pulling towards and elbows pulling towards one another.
Okay.
We're gonna lift off the couch, walk ourselves forward as far as we can.
All right.
And when you bend your elbows, you wanna make sure that you're not pushing back, but you're just going straight down with, once again, straight
so
spine.
lower your entire body straight
Your entire
down,
body
not
to
at
the
an
floor.
angle.
Yes.
Woo, and feel that stretch and that burn. I'm feeling a bit of a stretch in the pec as well, a little bit on the upper part. Is that right? Or am I too much strain on the shoulder?
No, that could be right, yes.
Okay, but definitely the triceps right now are burning. They are bursting. I'm going to get that shoehorn look on my arm after this. That's what I'm here for.
And once again, same rep.
And then your tempo, something I like to pay attention to.
Yes.
Good slow control, is that the way forward, yeah?
I would say good slow control. That's the best way, so that you can focus on your form and focus on your technique. If we start going a little bit faster, you're going to lose that.
It's quality over quantity right now.
Definitely,
yes,
for sure.
I love that. Oh, and burn as well on top of it.
There we go.
Beautiful stuff. Absolutely love it. That's like a full body workout in one. Didn't need any equipment whatsoever, Mzansi. As easy as that. You could see how you could use a chair, you could use a couch. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that you get involved and have some fun. Yante, I can't thank you enough for this. We got a few more sets to do on this, right? That was number one.
Yes.
Mzansi, hope you're joining in as well. Get off the couch, have some fun, and come join in on the magic. Right, set two. Let's get it. Push-ups, right?
Yes.
Let's go.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's Camphor Cream, enriched with camphor and glycerine. Trusted to restore and repair dry skin. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
tenderness. We want it. Nothing speaks to Mzansi more than a lekker braai and some rooster cook. Chef Clem is making a succulent char-grilled Angus steak with red pepper, salsa and rooster cook. This is exciting to me. This is a full circle moment because we're all about that steak.
Yes.
We are.
Yes.
And this man has taught me how to make a restaurant quality steak.
So you know what's going to happen? I'm not going to cook the steak.
Yes. I'm ready for you, man. I'm ready for you.
It's wax on?
Wax off.
Wax off. Okay, you got this. You got this.
I got this, man. No, I'm ready to learn because I always learn. So every time we do something like this, I pick up another little game changer. And I'm not kidding, people. Listen to this man. Listen with everything you can.
But now I want you to tell the people what's happening. But okay, let me tell you what you're working with today.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with the range of Angus steaks at Woolies, and it's 100% purebred Angus, locally raised. The farmers are around the corner raising this amazing. These steaks are just mind-blowing.
They're done in the right way.
The right way.
The right way.
What makes Angus special? Look at all that marbling, right? And marbling is flavor. So,
completely.
handing this to you.
Can you strip that guy open for me? Because one thing,
of course. Okay, yes.
One thing hasn't happened here that you taught me that we wouldn't ordinarily do. So I would normally get my steaks out of the fridge.
Yes.
A good 2 hours before cook time.
Yes.
Kind of towel them off just a little bit and get salt on those guys.
So I don't have a tissue. I don't have a tissue.
Salt them.
This is just a moment.
Because it's absolutely vital. You need that layer, that like kind of that slick that forms. Even half an hour will give it, but like I'll give it about an hour out. I've even got a cover. I've even got a little cover that I put over the steaks so that the cat and no one else can get at my steaks while they're
I'm having such a proud moment. Yes, you got it. Okay, so another thing, when you're seasoning your steak, use fine salt. Now's not the time for the fancy flaked salt. You want to use your fine salt because the finer the salt, you're going to cover more of that steak, get that surface area going. Whereas if you're going to use flake salt, you're going to have chunks here and here and there.
Yeah.
You want a nice even layer. You want that nice even seasoning on there. Ah, gee, this is the one. Okay, so we're using sirloin. I was saying I actually had the blade steak from Woolies last night, also Angus beef. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. The fact that you can play around with steaks. I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know, how old am I now? But I'm guessing in one day when you went to the store, when you wanted a steak, you only got one steak. There was one cut, boom.
Well, I was always like rump. That has changed
and now,
dramatically. That has
variety.
changed. And look at the cut. Look at the thickness of these guys. Can I get it on?
You can. So, you know what's going to happen? Okay, that's good. I like you got that nice heat. If you were someone that doesn't like the fat on your steak, here's what you do. You still cook your steak.
Over it.
Just get over it.
You
still cook your steak with the fat on and then trim the fat off afterwards and give it to
so you still get the flavor rendering off the fat for
sure. If you are going to eat that fat, what you do is you're going to sear your fat first. Start rendering out that fat. So it's not as chewy, not as like, I want to say pasty, because you need cold fat.
Yeah,
no.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So you hit it on the fat side first. Once you get the nice rendering, another thing happens when you render out the fat in a steak, right? All that fat starts seeping out. Then when you turn your steak over, you actually cook the steak in its own fat.
Get out. Get out of here.
So you see, this is also the pose. You see what G's doing right now? Tongs at almost 45 degree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go. And other arm, just like, yeah? And then you got to just drop the right knee. That's the G, fry pose. That's the one. How you doing?
Look at that.
So another thing that people get wrong, they think, I can only turn my steak over once. No.
I'll generally turn it twice.
Yeah.
Like for me, that just works. I mean, Hester Blumenthal turns his every 30 seconds.
Exactly.
So it's because on a fatty piece of steak like this, you've got so much of that beautiful fat rendering out into your pan. That's what you're cooking it in, man.
Exactly. So turn your steak.
Can I give you a bit of space there? You're right.
There we go. That's perfect. Turn your steak as much as you have to. Is that rule about turning it over once? Forget it. Okay. G, you're doing a good thing. I put the roaster cook on there, and we did some bread dough that we actually bought. Save yourself some time. You can make it, but just buy it if you want. Michaela's the baker. She's having a fat chat in the background there. She would probably make her own bread dough. Michaela, would you make your own bread dough?
Come in here. Michaela?
I don't know if you have a mic. You can just nod. Just nod. Would you make your own bread dough? You would never buy it at the shop. Get out of here.
Get out of here,
kid. It's joking.
Get out of here, kid.
Buy from a bread store. Buy from a bread store. I'm telling you, especially if you're doing a braai day, focus on the meat and the side I'm going to make. Get the dough from the store. Okay, G, you're doing a good thing there. Now,
what I've done is I've taken the pimento peppers, and I love pimento peppers.
Oh, they're so beautiful. Look at that.
They are not spicy, but they've got this insane sweetness. It's like, it's like tomatoey, like almost like umami flavor. Sweetness and the freshness, but we're going to actually add more flavor. We're going to char them. And how I char them, I just chuck it on the braai grid. Let them get super black, turn it every now and then put them in a bowl.
Because you want the char, because that's what really brings out the
char.
sweetness, yeah?
Really does. All we're going to do is just rub off the black skin. What you end up with is this beautiful flesh, and I've just chopped it up nice and lightly. Gee, the sounds that you're making on a Thursday.
It's looking beautiful.
On a Thursday, okay.
It's looking beautiful. So what I would ordinarily do at this stage with a nice thick cut like this, once you've got your char on the outside, I will pop it into the oven. 5 minutes, 180 degrees.
Absolutely.
Take it out and then let him chill, let him rest. I'm going to just give it a little bit more.
Oh, it's looking so good. To the peppers, I've added some mint and some parsley. I'm going to add some garlic. If you make this red pepper salsa ahead of time, better. Because the flavors have time to get to know each other. It's like everybody gets into the hot tub. How's it, how you doing? How's it going? Get to know each other, you know? The flavors come together.
Let the flavors infuse.
Infuse. Green chili, and I put chili in almost everything. And this one works really well in there. Salt, very important. Pepper.
Goodness gracious, this is looking beautiful, man.
How are you doing with your rooster cooks? Sorry, I forgot to say, rooster cooks don't take long.
And it's
hey.
Already, yeah?
Look at that. Okay, rooster cook's done, steak's done. I'm gonna plate up. That's a good
your
one.
Your steak is ready for it, Jewel.
It's looking beautiful.
Buddy,
so what I'm
you want
doing
to
is
swing that plate over here?
Oh, nice, G. Let me just pop this one here. There's your steak. That one's for you to take home. You know, your little lunchtime steak, okay?
I love you, man. I love you.
So, slice up your steak. Very important, you rest your steak. And I just want to say, the color is everything in the steak. I mean, that pink rosiness, and obviously you can cook it more if you want to, but I love the color of the steak. Kelly cooked it. Kelly cooked this.
Cows. You know what? Clem.
Hey.
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 Beautiful. Okay, salsa's looking amazing. A little bit of yogurt's great, because what I do is I cook my roasted cook on a long, so you kind of build up some lettuce leaves, some of the yogurt, some of the salsa on the steak, and kind of just like, you know, who needs a fork?
No, completely, yeah.
No.
We've actually, when we go the high protein thing, we'll get one massive steak and slice it up and share it between us and just eat it straight off the braai pan.
That's the way.
Oh, that looks beautiful. And it's a nice way, like when I say finishing it off in the oven, it's a great way if you are helping, you know, feeding different tastes. So someone likes it rare, someone likes it medium, whatever. 5 minutes for medium, 10 minutes for well done. You know, it's a great way to kind of balance it out like that. I think this roaster cook is ready.
So, I mean, I'm impressed. And we actually do this, like, it's pretty quick. The steak takes about 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Roaster cook 2 minutes. The salsa, super quick. Make it the day before. This is how you do dinner on a Thursday to give you those weekend vibes.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Maybe Monday,
and
Tuesday,
use a
Wednesday.
different cut.
Done.
So impressed with these sirloin cuts. Angus beef at its best. If you want to find this recipe and this inspiration, go to woolworths.co.za. What's your Instagram handle in case people have steak questions?
Clement.pedro.mancrave.
.mancrave. You are my man crave.
Stop it. Stop it.
Beautiful.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. It's time to have some fun. Sit back, relax, and enjoy some of this magic. Because right now we are joined in studio by singer Candice Galetta, and of course on the keys is her cousin Ricky Galetta, and they're going to be serving us the first of 3 performances with their edition of the 2012 Emily's Son day track, Clown. Candice, the stage is yours. Take it away.
It's funny from where you're standing, 'cause from over here I miss the joke. Clear the way for my crash landing. I've done it again, another number for your nose. Smiling if I wasn't so desperate. I'd be patient if I had the time. I would stop and answer all of your questions as soon as I find out how I can move from the back of the line. Behind the glass, go ahead and laugh, 'cause it's funny, I wouldn't do. If I saw me, I'll be your clown on your favorite channel. My life's a circus, circus, around in circles. I'm sailing out tonight. Be this angry if it was my decision, and the money was just rolling in. If I had more than my ambition, I'll have time for please, I'll have time for thank yous as soon as I will. I'll be your clown behind the glass. Go ahead and laugh, 'cause it's funny, I wouldn't do. If I saw me, I'll be your clown on your favorite channel. My life's a circus, circus, round in circles. I'm sailing out tonight. From a distance, my choice is simple. From a distance, I can entertain, so you can see me. I put makeup on my face, but there's no way you can feel it, for I'm so far away. I'll be your clown behind the glass. Go ahead and laugh, 'cause it's funny, I wouldn't do. If I saw me, you'll be your clown on your favorite channel. My life's a circus, circus, round in circles. I'm sailing out tonight. Ooh.
Wow, wow, wow. I think it's official, Ricky Candice. It does not get better than the Galettas. It's official, everybody. And of course, we've got 2 more performances coming up this morning. That was beautiful. That was raw. That was real. That was everything we ever wanted. Thank you so much for that. And I don't know how we're going to do this, but the rest of the show will continue. Before we do, though, let's find out what's happening in the news with Jamie Lee Domberg. Whoa.
What a voice indeed. Well, it's 1 minute after 7 o'clock. Time to have another look at those news headlines, starting with the local news. Deputy President David Mabuza has called on all South Africans to heed the call to vaccinate in order to reduce the rate of infections, hospitalizations and deaths. Mabuza was speaking at the launch of the vaccination social mobilization campaign under the theme Return to Play, It's in Your Hands. Mabuza said if the country is to revive its vibrant creative industries, its theatres and sports stadiums in which to play, it's so important that the vaccination program be accelerated to reach as many people as possible. And then Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma yesterday proclaimed the 1st of November as the new date for the local government elections. This follows last week's dismissal of the Independent Electoral Commission's application to the Constitutional Court to postpone the polls to February 2022 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The minister said the new date would be officially gazetted after the voter registration weekend scheduled for the 18th to the 19th of September. Dlamini Zuma added that political parties would be able to campaign provided they adhere to COVID-19 regulations and protocols. On the international front, the British Home Secretary Priti Patel will meet with her French counterpart about an increase in vessels filled with migrants crossing the English Channel to Britain. Some 500 migrants arrived in small vessels in Britain yesterday and 785 on Monday. The increase in attempts to cross the Channel is presumably due to favourable weather conditions. Now, more than 12,600 migrants have arrived in Britain so far this year from France, compared to some 8,400 last year. And then Guinea's military leaders have freed scores of political prisoners before a meeting of West African leaders to discuss their response to Sunday's coup that ousted President Alpha Condé. At least 80 prisoners were released. Some had campaigned against Condé's attempt to stay in power for a third term after altering the constitution to permit it. Coup leader Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, a former French foreign legionnaire, has pledged to install a unified transitional government, but has not yet said when or how that will happen. And then saving birds that play a vital role in the ecosystem. The Endangered Wildlife Trust has launched the first official vulture safe zone in the Karoo as part of International Vulture Awareness Day. Vultures play a vital role in the ecosystem and many organizations are rallying to support them. A vulture safe zone is an area in which landowners and communities work collaboratively to implement targeted conservation measures to address critical local threats to vultures, such as poisoning. Now, through extensive engagement and collaboration with the Wildlife Trust, the Rupert Nature Foundation, Sandparks, the Mountain Zebra Kamdaboo Protected Environment, Sandparks Honorary Rangers, Karoo farmers and other landowners have created an extensive vulture safe zone in the Great Karoo that spans some 23,000 square kilometers, encapsulating 3 major protected areas such as the Kamdaboo, Karoo and the Mountain Zebra National Parks. The long-term goal is to encourage Cape vultures to return to their historical ranges throughout the Great Karoo and then ultimately recover their population. On that note, that is where I wrap your 7 o'clock news headlines. I will be back on the hour. Graham Richards is standing by with another look at the sports.
I just want to start this bulletin by saying, because I want to be one of thousands of fans who are able to get back into those rugby and those football stadiums, I've had my vaccine and I really hope you go and do the same. Let's start with rugby news. Springbok 8th man Dwayne Vermeulen will make his first appearance for the national team since the Rugby World Cup final after being named in the starting 15 for the Rugby Championship match against Australia on Sunday. The experienced forward has fully recovered from an ankle injury and is now one of 5 changes amongst the forwards. While the Boks will be boosted by that news, undoubtedly, Cheslin Colby sadly will miss the clash through a leg injury, but is ably replaced by Sabu Nkosi on the wing. Kickoff for Sunday's clash is at 5:12. On to cricket. The Proteas will travel to England between the 19th of July and the 12th of September next year in a tour that will consist of 3 ODIs, 3 T20s and 3 Test matches. So Riverside, Old Trafford and Headingley will play host to the ODI series. Bristol Bristol, Sophia Gardens and the Ageas Bowl will host the T20 series, while the Test series will be played at Lord's, Edgbaston and the famous Oval. Director of Cricket Graham Smith has said that he is very pleased with the confirmation of more fixtures for the men's team that is in need of much needed game time. South Africa are getting that game time in Sri Lanka at the moment, where they will turn their attention now to the first of 3 T20s tomorrow, of course having lost the ODI series 2-1. Then on to the Premier League. FIFA have warned clubs in the English top flight that they could face sanctions from the world governing body if they play South American players who were not released for international duty in this weekend's games. Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea and Man City are all among the clubs who did not release Brazilian players for the current international break, and as a result face a choice of not selecting the players this weekend or running the risk of sanctions. The Brazilian Football Federation have triggered the automatic restriction period of 5 days, which stops clubs picking players who have not been released. And finally, on to tennis. South African tennis star Lloyd Harris has had his brilliant run at the US Open ended by 4th seed and Olympic champion, very much in form at the moment, Alexander Zverev, in the quarterfinals. Harris was in uncharted territory as he made his last 8 appearance at a Grand Slam. The 24-year-old, though, gave a good account of himself in the first set with a tiebreaker needed to settle it. That was won 7-6 by Zverev. Then he continued the momentum into the second. He broke twice to ease to a 6-3 win. The third was much of the same as the German took a 6-4 lead to book a spot in that semi-final, where he will now either face Novak Djokovic or Matteo Berrettini. If you missed any of those headlines, we'll jump back into the sports in about an hour or so. Right now, let's set the tone for the day with the weather.
Thank you so much, G. Now, to carry on with the weather this morning, we're starting off in KZN. We've been reporting on severe weather in the week already, where the mop-up operations are in full swing in areas that were lashed by severe storms of late. Now, the MEC Sipho Shlomuka confirmed this and urged municipalities to ensure that stormwater drainage systems are regularly maintained to limit the risk of water buildup. Now, he also appealed to residents to dispose of litter responsibly, and he said the failure to dispose of litter properly by residents contributed to the blocking of stormwater drainage systems. Now, on top of this, 2 incidents of fatal lightning strikes were also reported, where a grade 4 learner who was part of a group on their way to school passed after being hit by lightning on Monday near Inkopo. Now, in the second incident, which occurred in the Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma local municipality in the Gobo area, a 45-year-old male was fatally injured by lightning at his home. Now, our thoughts definitely go out to all our fellow citizens that have been affected by these storms. But now, as always, we have some beautiful sunrise photos shared by our viewers to showcase right to the world in Mzansi. Now, starting us off for the 7 a.m. update is Hannes Bosman from Gordons Bay, who leaves for work just as the sun rises. And he said we can expect plenty more like this. And yes, my man, we are here for it. And thank you so much, Hannes. And then, of course, on top of this, Haley Woods from Parklands shared this crisp-looking morning overlooking an area just as the sun is starting to come up and shine its light. Oh, we love these pictures. Keep sending them through and keep bringing this smile to my face from Mzansi and the rest of the world. And now we take a look at the rest of the temperatures for the country. We're starting off in Polokwane. We'll start on your day on a low of 9 and a high of 22 degrees. Mbombela starts the day on 13 with a high of 24, 25% cloud cover throughout the sky for your day. Pretoria starts your day on 10 degrees, moving up to 24. Johannesburg, a low of 9 and then a high of 22 degrees. Mahikeng starts the day on 12 with a high of 26 with sunny skies all the day around. The similar sky cover in Klerksdorp, sunny skies with a low of 10 and a high of 27 degrees. Kimberley, you start your day on 13 with a high of 27 degrees. And Bloemfontein, a low 8 to start your day, moving up to 25 degrees Celsius. Richards Bay starts the day on 13 degrees, moving up to 22. And Pietermaritzburg, a very similar temperature of 8 degrees to start the day, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius. In Durban, your day starts at 15, moving up to 22 degrees Celsius for the maximum. And then Mthatha starts the day on 7 with a high of 21 degrees Celsius. East London, you can expect 25% cloudy cover for the day with a high of 20 and a low of 14, with Cradock starting the day at 8 degrees, moving up to 27 degrees Celsius. Berga starts the day on 13, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius. And George, very similar with a low of 15 and a high of 22 degrees. And moving up to Cape Town, a low of 14 to start your day, moving up to 25 degrees Celsius. And Worcester, very similar conditions with a low of 14 and a high of 29 degrees. In Sutherland, your day starts at 10, moving up to 23 degrees with sunny skies expected throughout the day, and much the same for Uppington with a low of 19 and a high of 32 degrees Celsius. That's the wrap-up of the weather for this period right now. We will be seeing you again in the next hour, but I think it's definitely time to settle this. What is the deal when it comes to your rooibos tea? How do you serve it? Let's find out.
Yeah, let's settle it.
Milk or no milk?
That is the question.
That is the question. How do you tend?
Condensed milk.
Get out of here.
We used to have a neighbor, my mummy, shame, bless her soul, she died not too long ago, but she used to make the best rooibos tea with condensed milk. I used to go there as a kid every single day to just drink it with condensed milk.
Really?
Yeah, change your life.
I go both ways.
Do you go both ways?
I do.
Milk,
I
no
do.
milk,
For me,
sugar?
it must just be sweet. Yeah, honey.
Honey.
Lots of honey. I love it like that. But we don't matter. You matter. So let's find out what y'all had to say. Sitelo saying, since I bought it with milk. Nice.
Okay, cool. Ruby says with condensed milk and 2 teaspoons of sugar.
Get out of here,
Ooh,
Ruby.
That's too much sugar.
And you have
but
like one
I
a
love
week.
that for you. I love that for you.
That's hectic, man. Then Wanda saying no milk, slice of lemon, teaspoon of honey. Traditionalist. She's a purist. I like that. Natasha van der Kervel saying with milk. Perfect.
Just like that. We have another one from Amita saying 2, no milk with 2 squirts of lemon juice and a squeeze of honey instead of sugar. Yummy. I've never had it like that.
And Sikia saying no milk. That cup of rooibos is so refreshing, especially in the morning. It is refreshing.
There's just something about it. It just wakes you up.
Yeah, no, it just feels really healthy. That's the thing for me. It just feels
I think that's why people put lemon in as well, because then it's that refreshing taste and
more healthy.
Leanne says, no milk, I want to taste the rooibos, and if I have, I'll eat Oma's Ras biscuits with it. Oma with anything.
Perfect. So you haven't settled the debate. It feels like we're kind of split. Condensed milk, we need a third option there as well, but you can let us know on the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page. Do you take it with milk or without? One thing is for certain, it is unique. It's something truly South African. We're going to delve a little bit deeper into the culture of rooibos in just a moment.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's for Men, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour moisture and no stickiness. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We love rooibos. Yes. It's true. We've proven it on the show, whether you like it with milk or not, or condensed milk, however you take it. We love it, and we love the fact that it is purely South African. Perhaps not all of us know, in fact, that rooibos is a plant that can only be produced in parts of the Western and Northern Cape provinces. And just recently, a massive step forward, the European Commission has now included the product designation of rooibos, or red bush, into the EU's geographical indication register. So rooibos is the first African food to be approved by the EU for listing on this particular register. And to tell us more about this is the spokesperson for the SA Rooibos Council, and someone who I would imagine feels like they've won a massive victory right now, is Adele du Toit. Adele, a very good morning, and
good morning.
I suppose congratulations.
Yes. Thank you so much. Good morning, Graham. Yeah, we are so excited. This is really a breakthrough for the rooibos industry and for South Africa.
Yeah,
sure.
so let's break this down and let's get Mzansi as excited as we know they should be. Let's start off with this. What is the EU's geographical indication register exactly? I mean, what is this and why is it so important?
So the GI register, or geographical indication register, is a legal register, and that includes names of agricultural products, and this can include food, wine, spirits, etc. And these are all registered and protected across the European Union. Now, rooibos has been included as a GI for a long time, for about 5 or 7 years, under the European Partnership Agreement. But we as an industry really recognize the close connection between rooibos, the area in which it grows, which is so important, and the people and the traditions involved in the industry. And that's why the South African Rooibos Council really feels that it's important to protect rooibos and to support and promote the sustainability of the product and also our rich heritage. And that's why we pursued the PDO, or the Protected Designation of Origin, GI.
Because, you know, there's sappers in the UK that are looking for that store where they can find that rooibos because they need a taste of home. I would imagine this has a very powerful economic undertone. So what does this recognition mean for the rooibos industry here in South Africa? Why are you so excited?
So there's a couple of things. So the first thing is that rooibos can now only be recognized as produced in the parts of the Western Cape and the Northern Cape provinces. So in this way, we can protect our heritage and safeguard what is ours. And also, of course, those benefits will go to the producers of the region. And also, what's very important is it is bringing rooibos a valuable competitive advantage because it's so unique. And people in the European Union know the PDO register and the landmark or the logo. So they will recognize rooibos to be completely unique. And that, in that way, it will increase the demand of the product. And of course, those benefits will come back to the farmers and the designated production area. And the last one is that it will help protect the rooibos trademark worldwide.
All right,
money, money, money.
Money!
Love that.
Look, you're speaking about the producers, obviously, but when it comes to the community as a whole, I mean, surely there's some benefit here just with regards to everyone that's been around and associated with rooibos, but how exactly would this potentially impact them?
Absolutely. So we know, especially now with COVID-19, the continuous and uninterrupted supply of safe, nutritious and affordable and sustainable food is so important, and also providing essential jobs and income. And with this, actually, rooibos will help, or with this registration, it will help to sustain the rooibos industry. A higher consumption, of course, will be increased recognition worldwide. And then, like I also said, is preservation of our traditional knowledge and the further upliftment of small-scale farmers in the indigenous communities where rooibos is grown. It also will help to protect and support and promote the sustainability, not only of rooibos, but the rich heritage of the industry as a whole, and of course, South Africa.
And we know that there are cultures that have been leaning on the medicinal properties of rooibos for centuries, millennia probably. So it's an amazing step forward. But just to kind of give us a gauge of just how much of a step forward this is, maybe let's compare it to some of the other products on the EU's geographical indication register. What are some of the big names that stand out? I'm thinking champagne must surely be one.
Absolutely. So champagne, port, Irish whiskey, camembert cheese. There's a long list, and like you said, rooibos is the first African food to be included on the register.
I can understand why you are smiling from ear to ear. This is a massive leap forward for the industry, yes, but as you've highlighted, most importantly, for the producers and the communities that are going to be supported by the boost in infrastructure. It has been an absolute pleasure connecting with you this morning. Once again, congratulations. You are now free to go and have a sip of tea, and I'm assuming it's going to be rooibos this morning.
It's standing here next to me, so I'm going to enjoy it.
Good girl.
We'll catch up with her in a bit. We've got a part 2. We're going to be discussing so much more about rooibos. You definitely want to stick around. And I mean, it's only fair that we've got a masterclass in plants, so it's time we do the same for coffee.
Nice.
No, it's time for us to sip that tea. We are making Manhattan iced tea with speckboom. Because here's the thing, speckboom is such a great plant. I did an insert last year about speckboom, and it actually helps with dehydration and also if you're exhausted. So the perfect marinade. Obviously, it's all about rooibos tea today. So of course, we're going to be making an iced tea. And who better than Michaela to show us how? You're working today, girl.
I know. I'm literally with you guys the whole day.
And we love that for you. We love that for you. But of course, we know some of the most distinctive things that add to the beauty of just our local and lekker cultures are ingredients that make us uniquely South African, like, of course, the rooibos and spekboom. Now, they can be used in a variety of different ways. But today, we are showing you, like I said, a refreshing Manhattan rooibos and spekboom iced tea, the perfect drink for a taste time out. It is gorgeous. It is flavored. It's going to be refreshing. I'm ready for it. Are you ready?
Yes, I am. But also, it's too early for me to actually drink stuff, so you're drinking it today.
I will drink it, yes.
Yes, and also there's basically nothing for us to do.
So
when you give that lemon a roll, maybe like loosen the juices up.
Yes.
Don't go too hard though, because it will split and shoot everywhere. And then
That one's going to be a zesty lemon.
Oh,
feisty, wifey, plant girl. I'm calling you plant girl today because you're also going to be teaching us about the plants that you look after.
What do you mean look after? They look after me.
Yeah,
they provide me with oxygen, and then at night they provide me with carbon dioxide, and then I might die in my sleep, but like we don't know.
I don't know why I'm going to ask this, but I know the answer to it already. Do you sing and do you talk to your plants?
I mean, I'm a little bit strange in general, so probably. I do have conversations with them, and they do seem happier when I talk to them.
Do they talk back? That's the answer.
Definitely don't.
Good. Now we know she's okay. She's a little bit weird, but we can deal with that. Okay, let's get into the iced tea. I see you cutting up some fresh strawberries there, but I'm sure you could use
blueberries. I love blueberries.
Jinx. Can't talk. So blueberries, you can use blueberries, you can use other fruits as well, some oranges I'd like to use as well. And okay, and Jinx.
Yes, okay. At least you know that, because some people are like, they jinx you and then they're like...
Stop.
Okay, bro.
No, I should tell Carl this is the way that we can get you to stop talking, is to jinx.
So I have to jinx him?
Yeah.
Because between the two of us, it like...
Wow. It's a lot.
Yes.
So early in the morning, it is a lot. Okay, so some fresh strawberries. I'm going to be cutting this. I obviously rolled my lemon, and then you need
You know what else would be good with this? Because the Manhattan iced tea comes in pineapple flavour. If you do an all pineapple one. Yes. Seeing as today we've already done pineapple.
Do you know what I also learned today is that the Manhattan iced tea is actually made from mineral water. Did you know that? Well, now you know. So obviously, there's a lot of flavours you could use. We are using the rooibos flavour. Lemon flavour for this one, and it is of course caffeine free as well, so it has the extracts of rooibos. Let me get cutting this lemon. I've been talking for such a long time. It's you. Can you jinx me now?
No, because we didn't say the same thing.
Okay.
That's a very fat slice, Jamie.
Then she judges me on the way I cut. Okay, so this is the fat slice, and then we'll do a thin slice just for you. Okay.
Are we going to chop them in half, or are we doing full rounds?
What do you want?
What do you think is going to look aesthetically appealing?
A slice, but I'll do thinner slices.
No, those are good, actually.
That's perfect?
Yeah.
You're not judging my lemons anymore?
There's something so beautiful about some sliced lemon. The way it's so translucent.
It's so refreshing. I like that zesty taste to it. And it's going to add a nice little thing to
and then,
the
of
iced
course,
tea.
we have to add our chopped up speckworm.
Again, great if you're suffering from dehydration.
Yes.
Fatigue.
And it also has that, like, tangy flavour that we want.
Do you know what it tastes like? What it reminds me of? The outside of a green grape. So, like, you know, the skin of a green grape that's sour?
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Look at the iced tea. Although I don't know if we have enough in this one. Maybe we should have opened a second one. Let's just pretend like that's full.
Speckworm is in great benefits, medicinal benefits for dehydration. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep pointing it. It's good for dehydration and exhausted. If you're feeling exhausted, are you feeling exhausted, my friend?
Literally all my life.
So you need to drink it. You need to drink it. Okay, so the ice is going in.
Yeah.
Oh, was the lemon supposed to go in there? I just threw it in.
I mean, we can put it wherever we'd like. This is our recipe today.
Our recipe.
Yeah. Okay, so mind my hands. They are clean.
Pop it in.
Okay. Then we pour in our iced tea. Yum. I'm going to get all the lemon. Or no lemon at all. Or nothing at all.
I'm going to pop in the lemon. And just for garnish as well, some more of the beautiful speckworm going in there. She's cute, though.
She
Look
is
at that.
cute.
She's refreshing. Our bamboo sticks is going in there, and it's time to taste.
Yum.
It's good. Bit of a bitter taste.
Yes.
I think that's because of the speculum.
Definitely.
Of course, for you at home, expressoshow.com is where you can get your hands on the recipe. It is beautiful, it is refreshing, and it's just for you. Cheers, everybody.
Yum.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic.
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, welcome back, you beautiful souls. We're live right here, opening up on S3. It's your feel-good breakfast show. Now, this morning we have been appreciating our indigenous plants like rooibos and spekboom. But little did you know, our spicy chef in the kitchen has a green thumb too. Yes, indeed. Michaela Tsuin is here. She's joining us on the couch to talk about how she's using a pot plant to style up her home and how we should be taking care of them. Michaela!
Yes!
I'm excited because I'm also a massive plant enthusiast. My house is just, there's no walls. It's just green stuff everywhere.
Yes! You're my kind of person.
We're vibing, we're resonating.
Are you going to let me look at your plants?
Yes, you can see mine if I can see yours.
my whole house is just plants. Yeah.
Awesome. So I've seen you've already got some of your babies here, but before we get into what these are, talk to me about your plants. What do they do for you? Why are they so important? What does it do for your home?
So my plant obsession actually started, I was dating a guy who wanted to open a plant shop.
Okay.
And it kind of went downhill
Why,
from
did
there
you
for
kill
me.
all these plants?
No. Well, I'd always look at his plants and I'd be like, this is boring. And then one day it clicked, because you find that right plant that sits well for you. Yeah. And then after that, it just becomes like a slippery slope downhill and you just have an excessive amount of plants.
Yes.
I've over 100.
Are you joking?
No.
100 plants?
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely have to go and see yours. So look, I mean, you've got these little babies over here. Are these, so I know with plants, and a lot of people that are watching at home are going to want to know, how do I not kill my plants? Because that seems to be the forte with a lot of Mzansi. We're good at killing our plants, and especially when it comes to high maintenance, low maintenance.
Yes.
What exactly are these in front of us, by the way?
So this one is a Maranta Lucanera.
Okay.
And this one is a little plant baby, and it's a Hoya Hushkiliana variegata.
A Hoya Hushkiliana?
Yes, variegata.
Variegata, okay.
So it's a variegated form. The standard ones are usually just green in color, but this one has that bit of white, cream, and when the new leaves come out, they come out pink. It's beautiful.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are slightly more of your upper tier plants. I would suggest that when you're buying plants in the beginning, go for something that's cost effective, because they're kind of like your trial and error. So that's how we all end up starting. You buy something like a ZZ plant. and you test out what it needs. So I would say test out the watering first. If you start to see it like droop, then you know, okay, it's time for me to water my plant.
Okay.
But the best way I tend to water is I suss out whichever of my plants need individual attention. And what you do for testing your plant soil is you literally just stick your finger in about till the like first knuckle, whatever you
what
call it.
What are these things on my fingers called again?
The first
that wrinkly thing.
phalange.
Okay, so you stick your finger in, and then what are you feeling for?
If it's moist, so if the soil still feels slightly damp, then you're like, I'm good to go.
Okay.
So I would say the first way to test with your plants is to let the soil dry out completely.
Yeah.
And if your plant seems unhappy by the soil being dried out completely, then you tend to keep the soil at like a moist stage.
All right. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to get to now, because we're finding out when it comes to watering, when it comes to high maintenance, low maintenance. I'm loving the education when it comes to plants. So maybe you can tell us, because you've got, like you said, hundreds of plants. What are we looking at when it comes to these? Because this looks like paper art.
So it's called an Oxalis triangularis.
Oh, wow.
And they actually grow wild in your gardens. I don't know if you've ever seen like 4-leaf clovers and stuff.
Yes.
That's basically what an Oxalis is, but this is like the more advanced version. They go dormant during winter season, so during winter you literally just take the bulbs out of the soil and you let them dry out, and then when it's summertime or springtime you just replant them.
So if you find a 4-leaf purple clover like that,
not in your garden.
Guaranteed the wish, right?
Yeah. They are incredible and they look like butterflies. That's what everyone always says.
And then what is this exactly?
So that's also a Hoya. It's a
Yeah.
polyneura, and my one flowered this year.
Oh,
so
beautiful. Flowers once a year?
Yeah, roundabout. But
Okay.
some people actually have luck and they flower all year long. Like their plant will just be so happy that it will just keep going. And that's a string of turtles. They're really cute, but really hard to maintain.
And they look
you
like little
basically have to
turtles.
keep them in a terrarium to keep them happy.
Oh, wow. Okay, so humidity and everything is
yes.
very important for this.
So, for instance, this Maranta loves high humidity. I would say if you don't have a humidifier in your household and your household isn't naturally humid, I'm blessed to have a very humid house because I have so many plants at this point in time. You can just spray them with a water bottle like twice a day. So in the morning before you go to work, just take a spray bottle and just give them a shoop, and then when you come home at night, just do the same thing. If you start to see brown tips on it, it tends to mean that there's not enough either water in the soil or there's not enough humidity in your air. But my favorite thing about this plant, which I think a lot of people will love, is it's called a prayer plant, because during the day you'll see now all the leaves are facing downwards.
Yes.
And at night time, they move and close their leaves upwards.
Like hands
Like
praying.
praying.
Oh, that is so awesome. Michaela, look, I'm loving all this knowledge. I had no idea you were this deep into the game. Wow. I need to come and visit. I need to see some more of these hundreds of plants that you do have. But Mzansi, that's all we have for you when it comes to educating yourself on pot plants. You heard how it comes to watering, when you need to water, when you're watering too much, and the test and the tricks around it. So thank you. I love it. And well played as well. You're cutie. I want to steal a little piece
Everyone's
of
going to take cuttings of this afterwards.
Dibs.
Oh, she's a plant mom. You know, we're talking this entire morning about tea, but let's talk about coffee for a second.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's so incredible how different coffees have such different flavor profiles, often from the same type of bean, right?
When you taste as much as we have been lucky enough to do with our partnership with Nespresso, you become somewhat of a connoisseur. I think I have actually earned the right now to call myself that.
Yes.
And you start to then pick up the subtle differences in flavors depending on the processing, the roasting, and how finely the coffee is ground. But even the soil, the climate, and the location has an impact on the flavor. And coffee connoisseurs and also winemakers call it the terroir. Let's find out a little bit more while we make ourselves some beautiful coffees.
I want to explain the impact terroir has on coffee. You may have heard this word before when referring to wine. We've borrowed it and I'm going to apply it to coffee. What people don't always know is that coffee is super similar to wine. Like wine, coffee is impacted by the country in which it grows and the environmental factors of these areas. Terroir defines a microclimatic region that makes any particular coffee unique. We describe this as the interaction between the plant variety and its environment, say the soil composition, altitude, temperature, and rainfall. You can imagine the same type of coffee plant grown in two different regions. One at a higher altitude but a lower temperature. The other at a lower altitude but a higher temperature. These two coffees will taste completely different in the end cup result. At Nespresso, we don't only source coffee for the specific country of origin, but the terroir. And this is so every cup is unique and tastes delicious.
That is amazing. Okay, so I'm going to be tasting a Colombian variety. Okay, this is the Master Origins Colombian version, one of my favorites. I know I say that all the time, but this is beautiful. Colombian coffee, in fact, is grown at high altitude with lots of rain. So let's see how that translates. It has quite a high acidity.
Okay, so
it's nice, beautiful flavour, a punch of flavour. And you're doing the Brazilian dol, the Cafezinho do Brasil.
Wat jy gesê het. And of course it's at low altitude in dry conditions, so it's obviously very different to yours. Strong, powerful, beautiful, love that.
Hey, more biscuity kind of cereal notes as opposed to the higher acidity.
I'm really becoming a snob now.
But no, you must. Everyone has access to it. We love hearing about the subtleties of coffee. It really makes, certainly myself, want to explore more coffees from different regions. And luckily, thanks to Nespresso, we really can traverse the entire globe. Cheers.
Care is bringing passion to everything you do.
Proving good taste and good values go hand in hand.
Care is what goes into every single cup of Nespresso.
Made with care. Hecho con cuidado.
Nespresso. What else?
Yeah, you know that when it comes to Expresso, it's probably the best part of my day, and I hope that we make your day the best part too when you're joining us from Mzansi. And speaking of the best part of the day, we thought we'd continue making it the best. And we've got the talents of singer Candice Coletta here in the studio, and she's joined with her brother on the keys, it's Ricky. And we've got Expresso's stage lighting up because we've got another performance, and they're about to sing Daniel Caesar's 2017 track featuring her, and it's called The Best Part. Take it away.
Slowly, it's the sweetest thing, and it don't change. If I had it my way, you would know that you are. You're my coffee that I need in the morning. You're my sunshine in the rain when it's pouring. Won't you give yourself to me? Give it up. If life is a sit in my sorrow. Promise I'll be better tomorrow. The one that you love hasn't changed. It's just one of them days. Whoa, it's just one of them days. Whoa, it's just one of them days.
Oh, yes, Candace, this gets better and better and better, and I definitely can agree. You have become the best part of our day. We can't thank you enough. And of course, Mzansi, don't go anywhere. Candace and her cousin Ricky are going to be serving us some more magic later on the show, so don't go anywhere.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, welcome back, you beautiful souls. We're live right here on S3, opening up and educating you on plants and one of our favorites, rooibos. Now, it's one of South Africa's most iconic products, and it's recently been included in the European Union's Geographical Indication Register. Now, this certifies products that are produced, processed, and prepared in a specific area using a particular traditional method. Now, we're continuing the conversation with the spokesperson for the SA Rooibos Council, Adele du Toit. Are you still with us, Adele?
Yes, I enjoyed my cup of tea. Thank you so much.
I was going to ask if you had moved on to your second yet, and you'd be forgiven for doing so. Let's delve a little deeper into the significance of making it onto this register. How much influence does this register, or how much influence does being on the EU Geographical Indication Register have around the world? How does this change the perception of a product?
So, of course, the EU or the BDO logo is very well known in the EU, and European consumers know the logo, and they know that that stands for products that are created and farmed and produced in a specific area. But this is so important to be included into the EU register because it makes it now easier for us to apply to third country GI status in other parts of the world, like China or India or even in the US. And South Africa don't have other bilateral GI agreements, but we also want to ensure the protection of the product in other countries.
All right,
so it's the first major step, yeah?
Yeah, big step, major step, but since we're now being included on the register, what exactly happens now? What's next?
So now all rooibos products that are produced in South Africa and exported to the European Union can carry a protected designation of origin logo, and this is well recognized all over Europe, and it marks the product as a unique to one designated area, of course here in the Western Cape in South Africa, and it makes it super, super valuable. So there's also a registered name and a certificate that you can download if you have products that contain rooibos, and this gives you proof of protection, and these can also be shared with your clients and your industry partners. And of course, because we know rooibos is part of such a wide variety of biodiversity here in our lovely country, we also believe that the process now will pave the way for other indigenous products to be registered, including buchu, aloe ferox, and even spekboom that you spoke about earlier.
Oh, setting the bar with rooibos. I'm loving
Yeah,
that.
this is a bit of a watershed moment. I love that. Maybe this is a silly question, but it's been kind of on my mind since we started speaking. Why can rooibos only be grown in parts of the Western Cape and the Northern Cape provinces? What makes this location unique?
Well, Graham, rooibos' terroir is totally unique and it can't be found anywhere else in the world. So rooibos required specific climatic and geographical conditions to grow. It also grows naturally in higher altitudes, so between 200 and 1,000 meters above sea level. It's also adapted to survive in the unique geographical conditions in the Cederberg mountain range where it mostly grows. So that area is predominantly arid. It experiences hot, dry summers, and trust me, I've been there in the summer and it's been 47 degrees. And it also has cooler, wet winters, and the vegetation is a mixture of mountain fynbos, which of course rooibos is part of, and succulent karoo plants. So very, very unique area.
Because just looking at it, it looks like a desert. It looks like it's able to grow in the toughest of conditions.
The sand there looks like sea sand that it grows in, so it's very interesting.
Wow.
Gee, you want to start farming, man? Look, one thing I know and come to know is obviously most of us in Mzansi have grown up with rooibos, so it's definitely one of South Africa's most iconic products. Now, it's weird to think that it's only now the first food to be approved by the EU for listing on the register. I mean, surely this is overdue, and for me, the question is, what do you expect to see next? You mentioned something like buchu, which is big to my heart as well. What would you love to see being recognized as a part of some of South Africa's incredible offerings to the rest of the world?
Well, Raul, I know this has been long in the making, and the South African Rooibos Council has done incredible work, and it's taken a couple of years to get to this point. But like you said, South Africa has such a rich diversity of fauna and flora, and we've got so much to be proud of. The Cape Floral Kingdom, of which rooibos is one, is basically the smallest floral kingdom in the world, but has almost 11,000 plants in there. So we have such a rich variety of resources here in South Africa that we can be proud of, and we must make sure that we protect.
We can be incredibly proud of your efforts as well, you and the council. And I would suggest to our viewers, go to sarooibos.co.za to get more inspiration and information. Adele, it's been an absolute pleasure connecting with you. Give yourself a big pat on the back and go and have another cup of rooibos, because you guys have earned it. Really, really massive leap forward, I'm going to say, for the industry. So congratulations once again.
Thanks so much, and thanks for the opportunity.
Cheers to that, yeah?
I'm parched.
I'm going to get a
parched
farmer
right now. Absolutely love that. Just an expression of the power of our incredible biodiversity here in the Cape.
Yummy, 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 but it's time to create more memories. And if you're looking for a real crowd pleaser to create homemade happiness, then you can try our Snowflake Easy Mix Queen Cakes. Now, no one can resist these fluffy and moist cakes. They're easy. And you know what I always say, they are convenient to make, and you can get the family involved too. We're adding a delicious twist with rooibos in the mix and a decadent jam icing that will make these queen cakes perfect to share with your loved ones. And we're sharing it with our loved one, Michaela, this morning. You create happiness wherever you are, so this is perfect for you.
It's you and I together.
Oh,
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Very sweet. You're working today. We're putting a few faces, talking about your plants, you're cooking for us.
Guess who you guys are seeing every day? Me.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Slow clap.
I'm kidding.
We love that for you. We love that for you. We'd love to have you every day. Like I said, you bring happiness to us every time. Thank you so much.
Just hear the cameraman.
She's a lot. She's a lot. She's a lot. Everybody. but it's okay. So you know, tell us about the queen cakes that we're making today.
So today we're using the Snowflake Easy Mix Queen Cake Mix. I actually really like these Snowflake Easy Mixes. My favorite one, and don't judge me people, is they have a cappuccino muffin flavor. Ooh, they're good. They're good. They're good. They're very good.
We're happy. I love the pancake mix, actually.
Really?
It's the best thing because it's easy and, like I said, convenient. I'm that kind of person. Anything that's easy and convenient, I'm going to make it because these things... Already this is stressing me out.
Is
Seeing
it?
this out, and I have to use this in real life. Oh, so we'll get that later.
When you start off, go with the butter first. I hope it's soft enough for you to mix. But yeah, go slow when you start adding the icing sugar in, because otherwise we're going to have a dance party.
You are going to teach me. You're going to teach me. So we got the Easy Mix in there.
So for
What's
this
the next
recipe,
steps?
you have to use the whole bag because there are a lot of liquids happening here. We have a cup of milk, a cup of oil, a cup of cool down rooibos tea, and 4 eggs. So you just empty your baggie out, and then you just throw all your wet ingredients in. Like, how easy could that be?
That is easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's 4 ingredients. You see what I did there?
Are there 5?
But like 4 wet ingredients.
Okay.
Okay, so the milk is going in, our eggs is going in. What was to happen if I didn't cool down the rooibos? Would it just like...
It would cook your eggs, and then you'd have scrambled eggs. And no one likes scrambled eggs. Actually, everyone loves scrambled eggs.
Everyone loves scrambled eggs, but we don't
not
want
when
it
it
in the
comes to
cake.
baking.
Yeah. I'm glad that you use a big enough bowl because otherwise we'd have an overflow of that mixture.
I'm glad you thought this bowl was big enough.
Is it not?
I don't feel like it is. My baking bowl is like double the size at home. It's great. And then you have to carefully fold it. But before I carefully fold it, just make sure that you break the egg yolks so that you don't have egg yolks floating.
Popping out of the queen cakes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And we're just folding it in. And then, Jamie, you can start with your butter. Are you really just going to stand there and refuse?
I'm not refusing. I just need you to take me like step by step through this. Because I'm just scared that the butter's going to go everywhere. And
no, the butter will be fine. It's more the icing sugar that
I should be worried about. Okay, so I'm putting it down. The butter's nice and malted already. So I'm just...
Okay, go. There we go.
I'm giving a Michaela facial expression right now.
Okay. And then speed up.
Wait, is this not...
Speed up.
Okay.
Creaming the butter.
Okay.
Nice.
In the bowl, everybody.
Okay, and you can stop. Okay.
Dun, da, da, da.
And then you want to put your jam that's over there. So we do all wet ingredients first.
So the jam is going in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then you switch your machine on again.
Again?
And you...
I thought that was it.
No.
Wow. Let's do this again. On full speed?
Yes, please.
Getting the hang of this, everybody. Getting the hang of this.
Okay, and then stop it. Scrape down your sides and throw in your icing sugar.
See, this is why I need you in the kitchen, because you're a good teacher, by the way.
Thank you.
Maybe now I'll get a plant, because then you'll teach me how to look after a plant.
I'll get you a plant that, like, basically doesn't need any maintenance.
Like a speckball?
And, no, actually, a ZZ plant.
A ZZ plant?
I watched the video where they basically kept it in a basement for 120 days without water or light, and it lived. So I think you could keep it alive.
Oh, yeah, I can keep that alive. If I can keep Luca alive, I can keep a plant alive, right? Yeah, he's still alive.
I mean...
Believe it or not.
We could try.
Okay, so we're doing this one more time.
Slowly, go slow. Go slow first.
You didn't tell me that.
I said go slow and then
Remember
go
when
fast.
I said you're a good teacher? You should have started with go slow. So
Did we not have this discussion before I started?
But it's still... There we go. There we go.
Okay, you're doing well.
We're doing well, sweetie.
Make sure you get around the edges so you get everything in.
This is exactly why I said I was scared of doing that because look at now where's the cleanup?
Not you because there's kitchen fairies for that.
Thank you. But at home, I'm gonna have to.
Sorry. Okay.
Easy. There we go.
Boop, boop.
There we go.
And then just scrape down the sides of your bowl.
Epic fail. Epic fail, everybody. Okay, so what is the next step?
So then
before I fail miserably?
You spoon it into a well-greased pan and you cook it in the oven at 180 degrees until golden brown for plus minus 20 minutes.
And then you put the icing
Once it's cooled.
Once it's cooled, you'll see all the icing that's still in the bowl. You put it on there, and it is beautifully your queen cakes. Now, of course, for you at home, you stand a chance to win great prizes by simply creating your own homemade happiness. Now, purchase a Snowflake product to bake your favorite creation with and keep your till slip as proof of purchase. And then what you have to do is head on over to the Snowflake Facebook page and post a pic or a selfie of your creation with your Snowflake product on the competition post using the hashtag SnowflakeHomemade. Now, you could be the lucky winner of a 2,500 Rand cash prize or a voucher to the value of 2,500 Rand. As always, those T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com and snowflake.co.za. And
nourish your skin with Ingram's tissue oil enriched body care range for 48-hour rich moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We're almost into the final hour of the show, and over that time, we are going to be delving into vaccinations. Eitan Stern is here to look at the legal side.
And Carice Naft is also here giving us some tips on our pets and some healthy treats. But before we tuck into all of the goodness, let's find out what's happening first up in the news with Jamie Lee Domberg.
Thank you so much, boys. Time now is 8 o'clock. Time to have a final look at those news headlines. Starting with your local news, Christiana Hospital in the Northwest Province has been gutted in a fire that broke out yesterday morning. Patients were successfully evacuated and no injuries were reported. It's believed the fire started in an area where construction was taking place. The facility was in the process of being refurbished. Health MEC Madoda Sambata said they now had the mammoth task of working out where patients would be transferred to, as the area is only left with clinics and community healthcare centres. And then Deputy President David Mabuza has called on all South Africans to heed the call to vaccinate in order to reduce the rate of infections, hospitalizations and deaths. Mabuza was speaking at the launch of the vaccination social mobilization campaign under the theme Return to Play, It's in Your Hands. Mabuza said if the country is to revive its vibrant creative industries, its theatres and sports stadiums in which to play, it's so important that the vaccination program be accelerated to reach as many people as possible. On the international front, President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda yesterday overruled his government on its proposal that schools reopen next month. Instead, the president instructed members of the National COVID-19 Task Force to examine the impact of limited vaccination of teachers, support staff and elderly parents alongside a risk of the anticipated third wave of the pandemic on learners returning to class. The Ministry of Education proposed that schools reopen next month. Now, meanwhile, educationists have reiterated the need for the immediate safe reopening of schools in hand with the vaccination of teachers and non-teaching staff. And then staying on the international front, the British Home Secretary Priti Patel will meet with her French counterpart about an increase in vessels filled with migrants crossing the English Channel to Britain. Some 500 migrants arrived in small vessels in Britain yesterday and 785 on Monday. The increase in attempts to cross the Channel is presumably due to favourable weather conditions. More than 12,600 migrants have arrived in Britain so far this year from France, compared to some 8,400 last year. And then it's time to meet the oldest living land animal. Jonathan, a Seychelles giant tortoise, has just celebrated his 189th birthday. According to the Guinness Book of Records, he is regarded as the oldest known living land animal. Jonathan is a resident on the island of St. Helena, a British territory in the South Atlantic Ocean to the west of South Africa. He has lived through 2 world wars, the Great Depression, the deadly Spanish flu, and of late, of course, COVID-19. And yet he continues to thrive on the island. He was brought to St. Helena back in 1882 when he was 50 years old. Jonathan lives on the grounds of Plantation House, official residence of the governor of St. Helena, and is taken care of by the authorities there. Records say he was fully mature when he was brought to St. Helena in 1882. Fully mature means at least 50 years old, and this reaffirms that Jonathan was definitely not born later than 1832. Jonathan is cute. Well, on that note, that is where I wrap your 8 o'clock news headlines. Here is a final look at weather with Nature Boy.
Thank you, Jamie. And yes, definitely, Jonathan is kind of cute. And this morning's weather report, we're going to continue to speak about animals which are increasingly shape-shifting because of the climate crisis, which has been shown from recent research. Now, scientists have found that warm-blooded animals are changing their physiology to adapt to hotter climates. Now, this includes getting larger beaks, legs, and ears to better regulate their body temperature. Now, when animals overheat, birds use their beaks and mammals use their ears to disperse the warmth. Now, some creatures in warmer climates have historically evolved to have larger beaks or ears to get rid of heat more easily. Now, these differences are becoming more pronounced as the climate warms, and if animals fail to control their body temperature, they can overheat and die. Now, beaks, which are not covered by feathers and thus not insulated, are a site of significant heat exchange, as are ears, tails, and legs in mammals. Now, if not covered by fur, of course. Now, these findings were published in the journal Trends in Ecology and and evolution. Now, animals and nature are constantly evolving, and as are the beautiful sunrise photos sent in by our viewers. And we started this morning off with Chandra Paxton from Amanis, who shared this breathtaking photo overlooking the ocean with a mixture of warm hues. The contrast between the pinks, the yellows, and the oranges are just absolutely stunning. And then Fatah Khan from Richards Bay captured this somewhat overcast photo as the sun peeks through the clouds while enjoying the view of the low tide and a yacht perched on the banks in the distance. Somewhat of a dream indeed. And then Hannes Bosman from Gordons Bay, who leaves for work just as the sun rises, said, "We can expect plenty more like this." And yes, we are here for it. Now, last but not least on our list, we had Hayley Woods from Parklands sharing this crisp-looking morning overlooking our area just as the sun is starting to come up and shine its light on you, Mzansi, and the rest of the world. Now, to take a look at the rest of Mzansi and those temperatures this morning, and before we do, another thank you for those pictures, because we absolutely love it. But to start off the day, Polokwane, you've got a low of 9 degrees, moving up to a high of 22 degrees for the day. Mbombela starts the day on 13 and then a high of 24 degrees. Pretoria, you start your day on 10 with a high of 24 degrees. Johannesburg, a low of 9 and a high of 22 degrees. Mahikeng, a low of 12 and a high of 26 degrees for the day. Klerksdorp, you start your day on 10 and then a high of 27 degrees Celsius. Kimberley, very similar, sunny skies all the way around with a low of 13 and a high of 27 degrees. Bloemfontein starts the day on 8 and a high of 25 degrees with sunny skies all day around. Richards Bay, very similar, with a low of 13 and a high of 22 degrees Celsius. Pietermaritzburg, you have a maximum of 20 degrees for the day, starting off at 8 degrees. Durban, your day starts on 15 degrees, moving up to 22. Mthatha, a low of 7 and a high of 21 degrees for the day. East London, you can expect 25% chance of a cloudy day in the sky there, with a low of 14 and a high of 22 degrees. Cradock, your day starts on 8 and a high of 27 degrees Celsius. With Mabega, very similar, a low of 13 starts your day off and you finish off on a high of 20 degrees Celsius. George, very similar, with a low of 15 and a high of 22 degrees Celsius for the day. Cape Town starts the day on 14 degrees, moving up to 25 degrees Celsius. And Worcester, very similar start to your day with 14 degrees on a low and a high of 29 degrees Celsius. Then moving up to Sutherland, you start your day on 10, moving up to 23 degrees. Sunny skies can be expected. Much the same for Uppington, a full day of sun, a maximum of 32 degrees and moving to a low of 19 degrees. We're catching up with more of what's happening in the rest of Mzansi, and we're talking about vaccines right now. Let's find out what's happening.
Yes, the rolling thunder over the hills means only one thing. A-Town is here. Now, with the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine gaining momentum, thankfully, here in South Africa, and with the reported looming announcement of being moved to lockdown alert level 2, the discussion around vaccinations is obviously more prevalent and pertinent now than ever before. And there are still some frequently asked legal questions around what it means to get vaccinated and what it means should you choose not to. So we're calling upon the legal guidance of our friend and expert in law, director at legalese.co.za, A-Town Stern, to answer this question. I want to know whether getting vaccinated can affect other areas of my life. So now what? So now what, buddy?
I'm happy we're finally talking about this.
Because it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I'm by no means an anti-vaxxer, but I used to choose not to get the flu vaccine.
Okay.
But I've chosen to get this vaccine because we need to move forward.
Yes.
Okay, but we are in no way telling you what you should feel about this topic. We are purely looking at the legalities.
Yeah, we're not giving medical advice, we're giving legal guidance. Yeah.
Speaking about those legal laws, when it comes to your employer and employee and illegal laws, can an employer force you to take the vaccination if it says that it's going to affect, you know, the other areas of your work?
Okay, so in June of this year, the Department of Labour issued this directive according to the Occupational Health and Safety Act, which are the rules which keep us safe in the workplace. And they said that if employers want to mandate that their employees have to get vaccinated, they are allowed to. At this point, employers are not forced to force their employees to get vaccinated, but if they want to force their employees, then they can. And the way that that would work is they would have to put together a policy that they would have to look at everyone in the workplace, look at age, look at personal circumstances, look at the type of jobs that they do, see whether people could do the jobs in other ways, and they can put a vaccination policy in for their workplace. And if they decide, cool, everyone who works here has to be vaccinated, then employers are allowed to do that. If employees object and don't want to get vaccinated, they can raise a complaint, and then the employer has to do certain things, offer medical counsel, make sure that they understand the vaccine, that they can get to the vaccination sites, etc. And if at that point, after the objection, the employer still decides this employee needs to be vaccinated to work here, and the employee refuses, then that employee can potentially be fired for that. Right. And that is because the employer has a duty to keep their staff and clients safe. And if you are unvaccinated, you are under a lot more risk from COVID and passing COVID. So that's the employer's obligation.
Wow. If you feel, because I know it's kind of, as everything has been with COVID-19, we're kind of doing everything at the same time. And I think that's part of the problem with the mistrust in the vaccine, is the fact that we're moving through these things so quickly. But if you feel at this moment that you're being discriminated against, so to speak, by your employer because you have not been vaccinated, do you have recourse, and what do you do?
Okay. So, I mean, just to comment on the speed thing, this thing has happened quickly out of necessity. Yeah. But the speed of it has been because of how much money and research and people have been looking at it, not because they've cut safety corners. And that's from my
We've got the collective intellectual might of the world focused on this now.
Yes. So, is it discrimination if you discriminate against someone for not having the vaccine? So it's important to remember, in the law, there's a difference between differentiation and discrimination. Okay. It is only, we differentiate all the time. You two are different people. We discriminate where you differentiate based on arbitrary or unfair factors. If you had to potentially get fired because you're a woman, that would be discrimination. There's no rationale to it. But if you are rationalizing that, listen, you can't work in this workplace or can't come to work because you're not vaccinated, there is rationale, there's reason. Science is against you to say that this vaccine, everyone should get it. Governments, world agencies, all in favor of it. It is safe and has no evidence of being unsafe statistically. The areas where their unsafety are explained, and that is the nature of vaccines. And the risk that you pose to other people in not being vaccinated is very high. So if you potentially, it hasn't been decided in law, but this is from my understanding of the law around it, if you differentiate against someone for not getting the vaccine, there doesn't seem to be a problem with that because there is rationale to it.
There is ample
It's the same way that if Graham, if you had to arrive at work drunk, they might say, well, listen, you're not allowed to come onto set drunk. Or if you had to arrive with chicken pox, they could say you're not allowed to come onto set. It poses a danger to people around you. So it's not discrimination. There is rationale in differentiating between people.
I told you, I'm never going to do it again, bro. I told you. Just once. You just do it once, and suddenly you get this label, man. You get this label. Really, really interesting conversation. The bottom line is here, this is what the world needs us to do right now. And I know it can be frustrating to be told what to do. Many of us just push back naturally because of that. But this is not a time to kind of buy into a conspiracy theory to fight the good fight. What we need is a collective push in one direction. We're going to continue a very, very interesting discussion around the laws pertaining to getting vaccinated or choosing not to. Stick around.
Simple as CBD should be.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show on S3. Yes, we are continuing that discussion with our friend, a lawyer and director at legalease.co.za, Eitan Stern, as he breaks down some frequently asked questions around getting the COVID-19 vaccine in South Africa. I remember, like not so long ago, I was kind of on the fence of whether I was going to get the vaccine or not. Obviously, I got the first jab already because I said, you know, until it's required for me to get the vaccine to travel, that's the only time I'm going to get it. Where are we standing with that right now? Do you need to get vaccinated in order to travel the country?
Sure. So just two things on that. So to answer the question, it depends on where you travel. So certain countries are going to have different travel restrictions. So there's currently, I think, 79 different countries that won't let that have South Africa as travel restrictions to. And for example, a country like the UK, that South Africa's on the red list, you can only go in after doing 10 days of quarantine at one of their quarantine hotels. So it really just depends on the different places in the world, their regulations, and the way that they deal with different countries. So it's less South Africa, you can leave the borders, but you might not be allowed in. But just a thing to remember, the idea of saying, cool, we're only, and I know you've passed this, but saying, listen, I'm only going to get vaccinated when I can travel. You know, you must remember with COVID, the danger is not just to us. We get vaccinated for the people around us so that you don't pass it to someone else who might die from it.
And we've seen the statistics, the hospital statistics that were confirmed yesterday from Curtis Skeur, showing, and it was quite a big thing, and everyone was like immediately, conspiracy theory, but it's been proven. Those that are in hospital in critical care have not been vaccinated to a vast majority. So it really does come to bear. I went for my second jab yesterday. I'm feeling a little bit iffy this morning. Can I take a day's leave? Can you take time off?
Get this guy out of here.
Get him out of here. Smell his breath and get him out of here. Can you actually take leave to get vaccinated and for that recovery period?
So employers are obliged to give you a time off or sick day to go and get vaccinated, and if you get sick afterwards, that you can take a sick day from it. So certainly you can't be fired for getting vaccinated, you can't be discriminated against for being vaccinated. The law is in your favor if you get vaccinated.
Great.
Can I sue the place if I have side effects of the vaccination?
Great question. So the way that generally in law, if someone does something wrong and it harms you, you can sue them. But the way that it works with vaccinations is that the vaccinations are sold to South Africa and to individual countries. And the pharmaceutical companies make the countries sign a waiver or an indemnity to say if there's any issues or people get sick, they can't sue the pharmaceutical companies. But there are processes that are set up. So each country, as South Africa is in the process of doing it, sets up a fund, like an indemnity fund, that if people get sick or have claims, that they can claim against the fund, and so this avoids litigation going back and forth to big to big pharmaceutical
Otherwise,
companies.
vaccines would never come to
Otherwise,
Africa.
it's just going to be absolute chaos, and the whole thing's going to be shrouded in litigation. So the fund is set up, and if anyone does have a legitimate claim, they should be able to claim against the fund. In South Africa and other countries will have similar processes.
Can you hook up a vaccine on the black market?
Wow, HR. I'm
sorry, but that's what it says here. No. Obviously, we have an abundance of sites and now an abundance of vaccines to get. Thankfully, that's one area where they've really gotten it right. We have access to vaccines. Even walk-ins can go. I think Raul did it and he was there for like under 2 hours as a walk-in. Great. Are there other ways we can get vaccines?
Okay, so the way that it's running globally is that the vaccines are being sold to countries, and it's the countries that are administering them. So in South Africa, it's the Department of Health, and it's using private parties to administer the vaccines. It's been unbelievably successful. You do not need an appointment anymore. If you're in the age bracket that can go, you can walk in and get your vaccination. 2 hours is a fantastic amount of time. I was there for 50 minutes when I got my second one. You know, and so the only way to get the vaccine is to go to one of these sites. If you go into the Department of Health's website, or Discam or Click's website, you can find these vaccination sites everywhere. Their lists are online, and that's the only place to get them. I wouldn't go and buy a vaccine on a black market. You won't be made to pay for it. It's all paid for by the government. So that's the way that you get the vaccine.
And you got your jab, right?
I'm double jab, baby.
Yay,
double jab. Timing. And incidentally, on the side effect things, I mean, my arm is a little bit tender. I had a little bit of a fuzzy head with the first one. I haven't had that with the second round. I mean, we're always a bit tired if you've got young kids, so I don't know where the kids. You know, it's a lot less difficult than having a 1.5-year-old. That's all I'm saying. No, the bottom line is that the only way we collectively are going to move forward is if we get vaccinated.
Totally.
So just to do it, and I think Eitan hit the nail on the head. It's not for you, it's for everyone else around you. So think about that.
Yeah, now look, when it comes to dogs and animals, you've seen how they've been stealing the headlights when it comes to the news and our weather reports. And we're continuing on with that trend right here on the show. And we often think that toys are just for fun when it comes to animals. And whilst they are really fun, chances are, if your dog has a behavior problem, it's likely the result of boredom or excess energy. So today, we have our favorite animal behaviorist, it's Carice Nafter here. And we are going to be chatting about a lot of things when it comes to animals, as well as her adorable pup, Bear, who's here. And they're going to be unpacking how to choose the right toys for your dogs and why playtime is so vital. Carice, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
I'm always so excited to play with this little one. How you doing? Good morning. You're such a cutie.
Whenever we pull into the studio, he starts crying. He's so excited. Yes.
He knows he's back home. He's second home.
Exactly.
Look, there's so many things when it comes to toys with animals. We know they love them, but why do they need toys? Why do our animals need them in their lives?
Well, the reason dogs need toys because it gives them a chance to pretend to kill something. Okay, let me put it bluntly. Whoa! Okay. So dogs are predators. Okay,
yes.
They used to be wolves way back in the day. So for them, what's fun is chasing and shaking things like they would if they were actually killing something for their food.
Yeah.
They're obviously not, but they have an instinct for that. They have a physical need to kind of run and chase, grab things with their mouth, pull on it, shake it like they're trying to kill it.
Yeah.
And it's just fun for them, but it provides a natural outlet for it. And one of the reasons they need toys is if they don't have toys, they will create that same fun with things that aren't toys.
Like a shoe, or your favorite pair of jeans or something.
Or a cat, or something. Yeah,
Okay,
exactly. I mean, that's a bit extreme,
yeah.
but they will
Yeah.
chew on things and try to do it. So it makes them happier animals, it bonds them with you, and you're giving them sort of a legal, I always say a legal outlet for their energy, which is,
Okay, you can push this red button.
Exactly, yes.
So look, there's so many toys around and there's so many options. How do you know when to choose the right toy for your pet specifically?
So I like to divide toys into two categories.
All right.
There's toys you can leave your dog alone with, that are pretty indestructible, and there's toys they should play with you with. So dogs don't, if a toy, so let me just show, I've got a few toys here. A toy like this is very fluffy and very busy, okay?
Yes.
This is a toy, I never leave my dogs with
I was
this
just thinking,
toy.
coming home to a room full of
Confetti, yes. This toy,
exactly it.
this toy lives in my cupboard, in my special sacred toy cupboard.
All right.
When I want to play with my dogs, then I bring this toy out.
Sorry, I just have to interrupt you because I just pictured your toy cupboard being like this utopia and the doors open.
It's like golden showers. It is. You cannot. It's a whole section of the house.
So that's obviously the cupboard as well. Yeah.
This lives in the cupboard. And what's fun about this toy is what makes it fun is to actually move it a little bit for the dog. Okay.
So you're almost simulating like a moving, like you mentioned, animal or a predator. So those instincts can come into play.
So with play with you toys like
Bear's
this one.
coming along.
Yes, and so maybe he'll try and kill it now. Okay, so that action, that head shake, that's like when you try to kill something. But it's obviously just fun. It's not a dangerous thing. It's a natural good things. There you go. So okay, he's hunted for the morning. So he's good boy, he's so cute. Yeah, kill it. But that's only fun because I've moved the toy.
Yeah.
If the toy just sits there, it's not so interesting. So this is a good play with me toy. This
I
is
don't
a
think he's gonna
similar
let that
toy.
go now.
Yeah, I know. Now this is also a toy that's soft. So this toy I will also play with him with. I won't just leave it on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, so this also makes me fun. This makes me important because I am the one who plays with the special tuggy toys. They don't just...
So this is officially playtime right here. It doesn't get better than this.
This is officially playtime. Okay, yes, and then the other toys you can get, this is a fun toy that...
He wants them all, actually.
I told him this was going to be a good
do you have
day.
a favorite? No, I want them all of them.
Anything Mom is holding. There we go. So these kind of toys as well, these are not the sturdiest toys to leave your dog with alone, okay? So separate toys you can make fun for them with you versus toys that can be on their own with.
And the ones that you can leave them alone with, they look a lot more durable as well. The material seems to hold up against their jaws, so
yeah, exactly.
that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so there's a whole rainbow of toys out there.
Yes.
I've just brought a few examples, but good toys. Yeah, Bear's very excited. Oh my gosh. This is like Christmas. He's like, oh, my toys are in one place. Okay, so these 3 toys I have here are just examples.
I want to play, 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 want to play.
They're all hollow inside. Okay. And what you can do with these toys is actually put food inside the toy.
Yes.
You can mix their regular food with other healthy foods we're going to talk about in a bit, like sticky stuff, so the food stays in. And then these toys, when you go to work and your dog's like, oh, Dad's going to work, if you leave them with a toy stuffed with food, you can keep them busy when you're not there.
Keep them engaged for the whole day.
Exactly.
Probably, yeah.
This is like giving your dog a DVD to watch, or who watches DVDs. This is like turning on Netflix for your dog. Exactly, because they do want to do things. So it's smart to use your dog's food to keep them busy. You just have to be smart about it. So these toys, they tend to be very durable. Look, you've got to use your common sense. Okay, if you've got a dog with super duper strong jaws, you might need these these sort of toys are the sturdiest. So first, before you leave your dog alone with the toy, just make sure they're not ripping it to pieces. But they generally are quite sturdy. So those are some guidelines. Have 2 categories of toys. Leave alone toys and play with mom.
Maybe I can give you a little curveball here, because we're talking about toys that are also, like, I imagine, things that you can play fetch with and chase toys, etc.
Yeah.
I've got a husky, and this guy's like not the normal dog. I throw sticks and balls, and he looks at me like I've lost my mind.
Yeah.
He's not into that thing. That's just not what they do. Is my husky normal? Is there something wrong with him? Do I need to get a better toy? What's going on?
You have a perfect husky.
Okay.
Okay, he's a perfect husky. Huskies are bred to do what? They're bred to go in a straight line that way. Owner's always behind them.
Yes.
They just go there until you somehow get them to stop, okay?
All right.
It was never, ever, ever part of a husky's reality to pick up something in their mouth and bring it back. They're just meant to go straight forward.
Just want to go.
There's not a lot of sticks in the snow. There's not a lot of ducks to fetch and bring back. So all of the fetching dogs, those dogs, that action started from hunting. So Bear is a poodle, okay, which is originally, very short story about poodles, they're a German breed, and poodle means puddle in German. They were bred to jump in puddles and bring back ducks, like Labradors.
Oh no, really?
So that's where the desire to fetch comes, because we bred it into them. So with your husky, he will love killing and shaking if you move it in your hand.
Okay.
But if you throw it, he'll just tell you, you must go get it yourself.
Yes, he does that.
You can teach them, but it takes a lot of work. Oh, you see, there we go. Yes, yeah. He's so cute, he doesn't need to fetch. I mean, look at him. Look at him. Yeah.
Well, Lucas, I'm loving the education here, especially when it comes to the different type of breeds of animals we have and what suits their lifestyle best. Now, we're going to continue this conversation, of course. Mzansi, don't go anywhere. We're going to be chatting not only about toys, but more importantly, the snacks that our dogs love and the do and don'ts when it comes to feeding them some of those good treats. So don't go anywhere. Clarice and I will be here later. Bear, you're going to be joining us too?
Yes.
Bear.
Yeah.
See you in a little bit. Kill that duck.
Purity, as your partner along your parenting journey, are also partnering with Cotlands to help raise 1 million rand towards early childhood development. For every Purity toiletry product purchased this August and September, Purity will donate 1 rand to Cotlands. Together with Purity, you too can help SA's little ones start their big journey and reach their full potential. Another Purity promise fulfilled.
Welcome back from Mzansi. You're still locked in right here at your Feel Good Breakfast Show, opening up on S3, and we are talking about our animals, our furry love bowls, and the problem that we've had in the entire 21st century, of course, is choosing snacks for them. And what is a healthy snack when it comes to our lovey-dovey furry pets? Now, whilst we face the seemingly hard problem ourselves, let's not forget about our pets. Now, we can often be tempted by cute, begging puppy eyes, but not all snacks are good for our pets. Now, Grace Nafta shows us which snacks are actually good and safe for our dogs and which ones we need to avoid at all costs. All right, so playtime, we've got that box ticked.
Yes.
Now it comes to maybe rewarding them for some good behavior.
Yes.
And especially when it comes to good playtime too, maybe. So what are the good snacks that we can incorporate when it comes to our furry love balls? Because I've been very intimidated by this. I hear so many bad stories. Don't feed them this, don't feed. I'm almost too scared to do anything other than dog food, but just like me, I want my dog to have the best when it comes to what they put in their body. So what is that exactly?
So the first thing is, yes, your dog should need a good balanced healthy dog food. So chat to your vet, make sure the balance is good. The foods we're going to talk about now should not be the bulk of your dog's diet, but it's good to know what you can give them and what you can't.
So these are treats, not
these
diet,
are treats.
not a
this
meal.
Is yes, exactly.
Okay,
this is to keep your dog busy or as a reward for them.
Okay.
So on this side of the table we have all of our good dog treats.
All
okay.
right.
So some things dogs tend to really love carrots. Okay, you can give them raw carrots and it actually cleans their teeth. And if you have a puppy, especially, and your puppy's teething, you know when puppies have those awful little alligator
like
needle
little baby
teeth.
sharks.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Carrots are really great for them to chew on.
Okay.
And this is a good healthy snack.
And I suppose the texture for them must feel like a
it's like a
into
bone.
or something.
Absolutely, yeah. They love. So dogs love hard things. Their most favorite foods are crunchy foods, like they're chomping on bones. But instead we'll give them carrots instead.
I got you.
Now the favorite around my house every morning is apples. Okay, you need to take the seeds out because apple seeds are actually toxic to dogs. They have to eat a lot for it to be toxic, but especially if you've got a small breed dog. So you need to cut up the apples, de-seed them. And at my house every morning when I cut the apple, all my dogs race into the kitchen because they know the sound of it clunking on the cutting board. Like, oh, apple time.
Hey, Bear, apple a day keeps the vet away, yeah?
Bear's like, I've lost my toys, I'm sad now. Okay. Another good treat is eggs.
Yes.
Okay. So you can hard boil an egg. One of my friends every Sunday, she gives her dogs a hard boiled egg. It's best to cook them. I wouldn't give them a raw egg.
Okay.
But you can scramble it or hard boil it, and that's a nice healthy extra something for your dogs. Okay.
Right.
Cheese is also a good snack for dogs. You don't want to give too much. So you've got to remember how big dogs are, okay? If you have a Yorkie that's this big, you don't want to give him a block of cheese this big.
The size of his head.
Tiny little pinches of cheese. It's a very good training reward because it smells very strong and dogs love the smell of cheese.
Some good fat in there too, I suppose they love as well.
Totally. And now over here I've got plain popcorn, okay? Mustn't have salty butter on it, but...
This is so cool.
I know.
Popcorn, you can make an abundance of popcorn as well. It doesn't cost too much.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if Bear's ever had popcorn, so we'll see. But dogs love popcorn, okay? And that's a good, healthy snack. I know some people sprinkle biltong powder on top of it, and it's a nice, easy
smart,
one.
Actually, I like that.
Yeah,
I think Bear's definitely ready for the movies because
he's like, oh, I'm loving my popcorn. Yeah. And then over here we've got chicken, okay?
Okay.
Now, chicken you mustn't ever do anything too spicy for the dog, but a great healthy treat is just simple cooked chicken.
Okay.
Don't ever give them raw meat, okay? Like raw chicken is not safe, just like people, but cooked chicken is really lovely for the dogs, okay?
What about the bones when it comes to chicken? Because I know, like, especially with dogs in general, certain bones aren't good for them. They can get caught in the throat. When it comes to chicken, should I be deboning it as well, or
definitely
leave it as
deboning. Yeah.
Okay.
So there are some bones for dogs that are safe, but they're about this big, and they're usually ostrich or beef bones, and those you can buy at your vet.
Okay.
So if they're selling it at the vet, then it's safe. Any cooked bone your dog should not eat. Don't let them have pork, chopped bones, chicken bones, nothing from the cooked food they should be eating from the bones, because those can all be dangerous.
Right, so we've got all the good stuff. Now let's speak about the no-nos and the things we should maybe stay away from, because this looks good. This is something that's in my house all the time and in many other people's places, and I could easily see this dropping on the floor, causing some chaos, right?
Yes. Or if you've got a tall dog like a husky who can get on the counter, it's also a dangerous thing.
Okay,
yes.
So what are we looking at right here?
Okay, so this is not there are other foods that are also not good for dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, you can check on the internet to get a huge all the range of it, but these are the most common problem foods. So the food that is most surprising that people don't know about is that raisins and grapes are poisonous for dogs.
Jeez, yeah.
And they're sweet, and dogs like sweet things, things just like people. So if your dog gets into a bag of raisins, you must immediately go to the vet. Don't give them as treats because, like I said, they love them. So, and people, you wouldn't think that that's a poisonous sort of
they're not even going to know any better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay away from any raisins, any grapes. At the back there, we've got some lovely sweeties. Chocolate, most people know chocolate's bad for dogs, and it's true. It's poisonous to dogs. Sugar is not good for dogs. Caffeine is not good for dogs. Anything that comes in a plastic packet like that, totally stay away from.
That's like a lot of people's diets in general, eh?
I know.
Sugar and coffee.
I know. You've got to have a different plan for your dog, yeah. Another thing that's interesting, which people don't know about, is garlic is not healthy for dogs. Okay. Garlics and leeks and onions are not good food for dogs. They can be toxic if they eat too much of them.
I had no idea about that. All right, okay. And then, weird, because we were talking about peanut butter being a good one, but you've got some nuts here, which are not so good, right? What are these?
So this is where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
The only safe nut for a dog is a peanut.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware. Peanuts are safe. Peanut butter is great for dogs, but other nuts, especially macadamia nuts, are actually also poisonous to dogs. So macadamia nuts, almonds, walnuts, all of those kind of nuts do not give to dogs. Totally stay away from. Don't use almond butter. Here we've got peanut butter, which you can use in those toys I showed, those hollow toys. You can put it inside. The only thing with peanut butter, and what's not on this tray, that's also very dangerous to dogs, is xylitol, the sweetener.
Yeah.
It looks like sugar. One of my clients' dog, she had a whole bowl on her counter, and her dog ate he tipped it over, ate the whole thing, had to rush to the vet. Xylitol, super poisonous, and some peanut butter that's sugar-free has xylitol.
Oh, wow.
So you must check and make sure there's no sugar, no salt. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolute magic tips when it comes to looking after our love balls of fur. Thank you so much, Chris. And Bear,
you want some cheese for being a good boy?
Cheese.
Yeah.
We've got a whole platter for him to enjoy after this. But look, whilst your dog loves delicious snacks and toys, they also love being happy and healthy. So make sure that their tail is also always wagging by keeping them treated against parasites every month and giving them their treatment they deserve. Now, the best place to start is with the broad spectrum parasite treatment from NexGuard Spectra, and it's a small tasty beef flavored chew that is taken once a month, and your dog will probably think it's just another snack. And you can shop it online at pethaven.co.za, and the rest is nothing but pure love, memory making, and joy with your furry love ball. Right, Bear? Isn't that right? Yeah, that's right.
Join Expresso this spring to stand a chance of winning a 4,000 Rand Clascon voucher weekly as we ask how you colour your life. Is it the cherry red in your ride, maybe the burst of new blues from your garden, or the sunsets and seascapes of a favourite getaway? Well, answer our weekly social media question and find the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Then colour your life with 4,000 Rand paint vouchers to be won all spring on Expresso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked as we open up to fresh linen and laundry. Yes, I am a little bit of a clean freak, so I am very excited right now. Laundry is one of those chores that nobody can find the time for. It can be a real grudge chore, I think, in most people's house, but with Candy, laundry is one less thing to worry about. Their laundry range makes sure that your clothes come out perfectly clean without wasting water, energy, vitally important at the moment, or especially to us, time. Plus, their connected appliances are masterpieces of style down to the smallest detail, as only an Italian-designed machine can be. So let's welcome Moira Hepburn and Paige Collinson, who will be sharing how exactly Candy is simplifying the way we carry out our day-to-day domestic chores. Ladies, I have 2 young children. I do a lot of laundry. It's something that I really do embrace. So this makes me excited. Thank you so much for bringing the star of the show along with you this morning.
Well, thank you for having us. Yes,
Thank you. I think it's a perfect name, Candy, because it's making our life sweeter, definitely. For some reason, I never thought I'd say this, but this is a beautiful piece of a machine. Tell us all about the smart machine and how it's going to make the load easier and lighter, pun intended.
Yeah, pun intended. Well, obviously, Candy, kids connected. So what it does do is, with our Simplify app, you have got the convenience, you have the Simplify to do a wash in the shortest time, the smartest wash. You've got many programs that go with it. So what Simplify does do is it's our differentiator in the market. So basically, it's just the connectivity app. So also what Candy did do is they come up with a complete range of appliances that have this opportunity to connect to Wi-Fi. So nowadays, obviously with 2 kids and however many kids, everything is all about technology.
For sure.
So this does talk to that. So with the innovative app of that, you can be anywhere and you can connect to your appliances. So for instance, you're in the traffic, as we often are, you have to do a washing load. You can put it in the morning, you can go to work, or you can go to wherever it is that you're going to be going to.
Get out.
I'm telling you. And then what happens is you just connect to it and you do your wash load. But what could happen is there's going to be rain. Your washing machine will then connect to you, send you a notification to tell you there's going to be rain, I can't wash right now. So what's going to happen?
Ain't nobody going to be drying this.
Exactly.
Let's just wait.
Exactly. So we then are going to have to change our wash cycle. And also with the Simplify app, what it does do, it allows you to look at the energy, which is what we spoke about earlier, energy, how to minimize that so you don't use too much of it, tells you when you need to change your filter. And then also gives you the option to go into advanced programs in terms of what to choose in terms of your washing cycle. Because remember, not all washing cycles are the same. Not all bundles are the same.
For sure.
So that is your Simplified app.
Can it babysit? Can it babysit?
It can't babysit and I can't obviously hang your washing up, unfortunately.
But the ridiculous thing is my 4-year-old is going to learn how to utilize this. He's far ahead on the digital life cycle than I am. The design is beautiful. It looks beautiful, and there is something unmistakably Italian about the little finishing touches. But I'm noticing on the portal design, much bigger for loading. What was the motivation behind that choice?
Well, Candy appliances are designed with the customer in mind. So we found that the worst part of doing your washing is the loading and unloading. I'm sure we can all agree. Especially if you've got a front loader.
For sure.
So we've ergonomically designed our machines to have the widest and highest portals so that you can actually load your washing from a standing position. No more breaking your back to get in there.
Because I'm that kind of guy who will try and get the whole load in one go. I think I could do it.
Are you somehow feeling like I am, like I need to go home right now and do
some laundry?
Do some laundry for some reason, but I don't have one of this. There's also a feature called the Snap and Wash feature, which is also great, exclusive to Candy. What is that all about?
Yes, well, with the new Rapido, you can simply snap a picture of your washing and it will detect the load, the size of the load, the colors, the fabrics, as well as how dirty the load of washing is. and then it'll suggest the best cycle for that specific load of washing.
That is
I need one today, like now.
And then it's going to tell you what you need to wear for the day. You just tell it what kind of... This is insane. This is going so far beyond anything that we've dealt with in this space. So I'm guessing there are going to be a couple of other features that are really exciting. For those that really dread laundry, everyone has a thing. I hate doing dishes, but I actually quite, as you can probably see, quite enjoy doing laundry, and this is going to make it even better. But for those that dread laundry day, what are some of those features that can make life a little easier?
What? So we don't like ironing now, do we? No. So we have what is called an easy iron and steam function. So basically what this does do, it allows you to decrease your ironing creases in your clothing by at least 80%. Okay, and then at the end of the cycle, what it does is the drum turns, but then it slows a little bit, and then you get the steam function that comes out. That steam function then relaxes the clothing, and not only because of the times that we live in, it gives it an ultra-hygienic clean as well as fresh. And that is one of them. The other thing that we have is the kilometer. So what that does do is with your energy, it will measure how much energy you're using, and based on that, it will then tell you to minimize and how to minimize. So there's sensors are in the drum, super sensors in the drum as well. So it can do that for you. Then the energy rating. So now we know that we've all got to, with energy consumption, we've got to try and minimize it as much as possible. Yeah. So what this does do is we've got this cutting edge in terms of the silent inverter motor. What that will then do is it brings it round into how much energy is used, and we've been afforded the A++. Wow. Energy rating. Just in them, those are your extra features.
Will I not get my ga?
No, you won't.
Oh, come on, man.
Some housewives might like that, but not everyone, yeah.
I mean, this really is a game changer, and it seems like such a quantum leap forward. It's like, it's alien technology. This has come from somewhere else. This is so impressive, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is going to make waves.
Yeah.
It probably does even make waves, probably, inside. That is incredible. An amazing, amazing list of features. You can simplify your day with the most complete, up-to-date and connected collection.
Yeah, now for one lucky viewer, doing the washing is no longer going to be a chore, because we are giving you the chance to win a Candy Rapido 10-kilogram washing machine with loot.co.za this morning. Now all you have to do is simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter page and tell us what your favorite feature of the Candy Rapido 10 kg washing machine is. Don't forget to include that hashtag Candy Washing Machine. Now the competition closes this Friday, the 10th of September, midnight, and those T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. What is your favorite feature?
I like the fact that it can warn me about the weather and that whole thing, because I struggle with that. And then you've got like washing lines inside the house because you didn't realize it was going to rain in the afternoon. The connectivity, I think, jumps off the page for me, but I will put it to the test. I'm going to see if I can get an entire load of laundry in with one push. Absolutely amazing, ladies. Thank you so much. You have inspired us, and it's not often that we get inspired.
Categories and get it couriered to your door with our contactless and safe delivery. So shop local, stay home, stay safe, and shop online with loot.co.za.
Okay, well, hold up. I think I'm officially at this age in my life where I can say that that washing machine is cool. I need that in my life. And now that we have the washing sorted, have you got some tired furniture lying around your home or in the garage maybe? Well, why not give it some life by upscaling something old to new with Plascon? Now, Jamie and Tabiso, our DIY experts for the day, are here to show us how. Let's check it out.
We are back with another Plascon DIY episode. Today it's all about upscaling something old to something new with a fresh coat of paint.
Don't let the word upscaling intimidate you. It's pretty simple. Honestly, it's all about breathing new life into an old item in your house, wherever you can find it, by introducing some funky colors, whether it's an old lamp, for example, or, in our case, an old chair. Sexy chair. I mean, let's agree, it's a really nice one, but, oi, man, it looks like it needs a new life.
She does. She certainly needs a makeover, so let's get started.
Yeah, this is what you're going to need. Sandpaper.
Plascon primer.
As well as your Plascon color of choice. In our case, we're going with the Grecian Gold as well as the Duck Sky. These both are Vivaglow water-based paints.
And we'll just give you that satin finish that you need, but don't forget your brushes.
You get nowhere without the brush. Jamie Lee, let's get going. Let's get down to business. First, we start by sanding down the surface of the chair. Wipe off the dust with a damp cloth. Prime your furniture using Plascon Wood Primer.
Of course, we've allowed the primer to dry overnight, and it's time to get creative with that paint.
Yeah, this is the fun part, right? Let's go. We've decided to go with dark sky blue and Grecian gold in the Plascon Velvet Glow, which has a satin finish. Make sure to get a solid coating all over the surface.
Take a look at that, Uncle Tabsy.
Man, a masterpiece, a work of art.
Now all you have to do is let it dry, and you have a new designer piece in your home.
I've got a new excitement and love for this chair again. And there we go, your stylish new piece of home furniture.
Wow, Jamie, what?
You can now call me the DIY expert. It's changing something old to something new. How beautiful is that piece?
It is so cool. You've given me an idea for a lot of the stuff that I've just squashed in the garage right now. I think you'll definitely see me at the next market selling furniture from and it's going to be newly painted, so stick around for that. Universe Direct sources and sells quality refurbished PCs, laptops, servers, switches, tablets and cell phones. Universe Direct is South Africa's largest distributor of refurbished IT equipment, offering an ongoing guarantee of equipment, on-site and remote service. From our factory to your door, anywhere in the universe, direct.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. The final few minutes of the show here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we're back on the Expresso stage to enjoy our final performance from singer Candice Coletta and her cousin on keys, Ricky. And this time she's bringing us a cover of Alicia Keys' hit 2007 song, No One, because no one can do it like you, Candice. Take it away.
You close, where you can stay forever. You can be sure
to the season of sunny breakfasts, healthy lunch breaks in the great outdoors, and romantic sunset dinners. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.